And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere. And where do we start? We got to talk about Brian Stelter out over at CNN. Finally, who's going to be next? They got Tubin out of there. I don't know how he came back, but they got quite a few other guys out of there. Is it going to be Don Lemon? Who's next? We'll talk about that in a minute. Also, did you guys see that so-called mother or guardian or grandma or auntie, whatever she was, coaching their child into this whole transgender lifestyle? They want you to believe that a 5-year-old knows that they want to be transgender, but in reality, it's the parents many times just coaching and or grooming the kids to go in a different direction. We'll talk about that. Also, Dodge is going to discontinue the gas-powered Charger and Challenger. Now, I did a video about this, obviously, this week, but I didn't show you the replacement. There has been a reveal. People say that, oh, there won't be the iconic roar of the V8 Hemi. Well, they got something else to replace it, I suppose. We'll talk about that. The Finnish Prime Minister, 36 years old. Are you a party girl or a prime minister? Also, Sam Harris, what's going on with you? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you enjoy what you're hearing tonight so far, please give the video a thumbs up. If you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. That helps me out tremendously. This is also a podcast you're listening to. It'll be available on all your favorite audio streaming platforms, whether they be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I shall pop right on up. And this will be available at 8 a.m. the next day. So right now, this is being recorded live. This is Saturday, August 20th, 2022. And by the way, just a quick comment. Where did the month go? I felt like it was just July the other day. Now it's almost September. It's crazy. Before you know it, it'll be snowing somewhere. Well, it's probably snowing somewhere, just not here. Not where I live. Ain't no snow going on. It might be like 75 degrees in the evening, but snow, I don't want that. I don't want snow down south because we're not prepared at all. Okay, we get a dusting of snow, the entire county, the entire state shuts down. It's bad. It's all bad. But anyway, this particular episode will be available for free on your favorite audio streaming platform at 8 a.m. the next day. So today, Saturday, August 20th. It'll be available Sunday, August 21st, 2022, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So check me out there. And of course, shout out to the sponsors of the show, as always. Shout out to my particular websites. You got AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. You can find all my social media accounts on the contact page. So that's AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my snail mail address, my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And a lot of you guys always ask me, hey, is this you in my comments talking about how to invest in Forex and how to get Bitcoin? It's not me. I'm not going to hit you up in a YouTube comment talking about some investor strategies. I'm just not going to do it. It's not going to happen. I don't even really know what Forex is like that, foreign exchange, but I'm not going to hit you up on a YouTube comment talking about how to make money from it. If any comment looks kind of fishy and they're hitting you up, do not respond to them. I would never DM you or email you about some business. I'm just not going to do it, you know. And if I do, you're going to know that it's me. It's not going to be fishy or weird, or I won't bring you to WhatsApp. Never. If I do contact you, you'll know it's me. It's not going to be on a YouTube comment. You will have to go to my official email address, and that's contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. If it's not that, it's not me. right? But you can go to the website and verify where I am and who I am and all of that good stuff. If it's not on the website, it's not me. Don't get fooled. Don't get scammed. Don't get robbed. Don't get your shirt taken off of your back. Keep your shirt and be safe. But also on the website, I have articles for each video that I produce. So whenever I produce a video and you're asking where's the sources, where'd you get that from, just go to the particular article that corresponds to the video and you'll be able to see a list of sources at the very end of each article. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGN.com. Also go to the merch store, ABLmerch.com. That is ABLmerch.com. Check it out right now. You know what we got. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right on the website, ABLmerch.com. Also go to patriotpost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on the internet. All my links, all my sponsors will be in the description. Oh, also, Uncle Tom Part 2, the movie, the documentary, is coming out Friday, August 26, 2022. So just in a few days here, okay? Just in a few days, Friday, August 26, 2022 on UncleTom.com. You can still pre-order it right now and use promo code ABL to get 30% off your pre-order. So again, Uncle Tom Part 2, the documentary. And if you don't know what it is, first, I advise you watch Uncle Tom Part 1 for free on their YouTube channel. If you go to their website, UncleTom.com, you'll be able to find their YouTube page and you'll be able to watch Uncle Tom for free on YouTube. Now, a word of warning, you have to be signed into YouTube to watch Uncle Tom Part 1. Why? Because they want to censor it. They want to age gate it, all this, that, and the third. Why do they want to age gate it? I think it's because we're conservative and they don't like that. And that goes into what Uncle Tom is about. It's about a history of black conservatives and the movement in America from the very beginning, all the way from the beginning up until now and everything in between. We cover different things about it. The first one, you know, you have interviews and you talk about certain history and you link things together. They do that more in the second one, but the second one that you've not seen yet, you got to go pre-order it. The second one dives deeper, talking about MLK. One spoiler alert here for the second one. They talk about how MLK was a Marxist, a communist. Oh yeah. Martin Luther King Jr., that guy, I have a dream. Now, am I going to sit here and say he's a horrible person? I didn't say all that. I didn't say all that. I'm just saying we got to put people in proper context. All right? Put them in context. MLK, he was praised for what he did. He was praised for who he was. He was praised for giving his life for what he believed in. But let's not forget that he was also a Marxist and a communist. Let's not leave that part out because people have admiration for the man. But that's part of what you're going to see in Uncle Tom Part 2. It gives you a great window into blacks in America and how we've gotten here today. How some of us are like myself and some of us are like other people. You know, your BLM and whatnot. Oh, one more thing. One more spoiler I'll give you. Just real quick, because it's 2 hours long. I won't give you too many spoilers. But what they also talked about was how Black Lives Matter and the co-founder, at least, Patrice Cullors, you know, the real estate lady with the crazy fat suit on. Remember her, Patrice Cullors? She was trained, as she said before, by Marxists, and this particular Marxist was a white man. So this Black Lives Matter, pro-black, blackity black was raised by a white man, and this white man has trained other black people in Marxism. So this particular thing that you think you believe in, this Black Lives Matter, hands up, don't shoot, you thinking it's organic, you thinking that it just comes from the people, but in reality, it's a whole white man behind the scenes making this particular person, driving their mind in a different direction other than where it should go. Now, I'm not saying that he's to blame 100%. I'm just saying he's behind it because they know what they're getting into. They know that they want to be Marxists. They know they want to be trained by the quote unquote best. So they got the best to train them how to be Marxists. This is why when you went to the Black Lives Matter page, at least at one point in time, their mission statement was very clear. We want to kill a nuclear family. We want to promote LGBT. That's the whole thing. And it's all by design. So all that is in Uncle Tom Part 2. Check it out. Again, links in the description. Use promo code ABL, get 30% off, and go to uncletom.com. Now, we got quite a few things on deck. But we'll see. I see the question right there. I see the question. Was he white or Jewish? You got to watch it to find out. I ain't going to tell you all that, but watch it to find out. I don't even know the man's name, but y'all might know. But you got to watch it to find out. I can't give you all that. Okay. But if you know, you know. But we got quite a few topics on deck for tonight, and I'm not really sure where to begin. I think I want to start with the Chargers and the Challengers. Now, you guys may or may not be car guys. I'm not really sure. I like cars a little bit, but I'm not necessarily a car guy. But I do like cars. I like the sports cars, muscle cars. You know, the big V8. I love it. A V8 coupe, sign me up all time. You know, I much rather would drive a V8 coupe than some little four banger. You know, they're okay, but it's just like a four cylinder. You would drive that to your job and back. It's not really like a fun car. Your four cylinder fuel kind of, you know, Prius, something like that. That's just for going to and from work, and that's pretty much it. Now that V8 coupe, I'm taking that out on the weekend. That's gonna be my Sunday car. That's the fun car right there. Oh yeah. I have a V8 truck, but that's my daily driver, and it's more utilitarian. I could put stuff in the back from my house. You know, I'd have put furniture back there, trash, a little bit of everything. Okay, I done put everything back in that truck bed. But the V8 coupe, the Dodge Challenger, oh man, that's just a beautiful car. I love it. As a stigma to it, because you know, people, they put all kind of stuff on it. And one thing about the Charger and the Challenger is that if you have one of those in Atlanta, like in the city, you are a target. You are a big red bullseye target. They're gonna get you. They're gonna bust your windows out. They're gonna try to steal it. Sometimes, if you leave it unattended in the wrong area and the wrong time of the day or night, they might get you, depending upon what part of the city that you're in. But regardless, I love the cars. Anytime I see them, I get a smile on my face. Excuse me. But Dodge is going to discontinue both the Challenger and the Charger, at least as far as how we know it today. Now, the Charger, that's the four-door. Matter of fact, let's get a good little visual aid here. The Charger's a four-door, Challenger's a two-door. And they both will be discontinued as far as the gas-powered versions. And I think the last ones are going to be available as far as new in 2023. Now, in 2024, they're going to have all electric versions, all electric versions. Now, you know, I covered it, and they're talking about, oh, well, the reason why they're doing this is because they don't want to get left behind. They gotta go with the times, all this, that, and the third. I think the reason why they're doing it is because of political pressure, because of the Green New Deal, things of that nature. They don't want any more gas guzzlers on the road. That's kind of what's going on. It's the same reason why Toyota dropped the V8. I got the last V8 model they made for Toyota Tundra, if I'm not mistaken. I think right after that, in 2022, I got a 21. I think in 2022, you could only get a V6 turbocharged or some other nonsense that came up with. You couldn't get the V8 anymore. Now, okay, if you want to be green, you want to be fuel efficient, okay, that's great. You can get a Toyota Prius. You could get one of these other electric vehicles that might catch on fire randomly in your garage when you're charging it at night. You could get one of those and that's fine. But I like the V8. I like to be able to get. Now, if I could get a V8 that got 80 miles to the gallon, great. But I know my truck's limitations. I know that I'm going to get probably about 10 to 15 miles to the gallon on the highway because I got a V8 engine. That's my choice. That's my prerogative. Leave me alone. But here are the actual vehicles. Oh man, I love them. So the green car, that's your Challenger, right? That's a Challenger right there. And then the purple in the back, that's your Charger. Both made by Dodge. Got the SRT logo right there. Yeah. Very popular cars, really noisy, real loud. Got them V8 Hemis, they revving them. Vroom. You hear them all the time. But these, as far as you know it, are going to be gone in 2024. And I think it's because of Green New Deal, trying to be carbon neutral, all this and that. And you know the funny thing? The people that really promote stuff like this, that promote the Green New Deal and trying to be carbon neutral, will spend all types of, they will ride in a private jet that burns all kind of fuel. Do you know how much a passenger flight costs to fuel for one trip? I read that a passenger flight, like a regular, going on Delta, Spirit, whatever, passenger flight, one of those to go from New York City to LA, it costs $10,000 to fuel. Just one way, not even back. You're not even going back to where you came from. One trip, $10,000 to fuel. Now, I know gas is expensive, but you're never going to put $10,000 in your tank at once. Maybe over a period of years, I suppose, but not at once. Okay, maybe if you drive a truck, you might be able to put that in your truck over a shorter period of time. But in your truck, you're not going to put no 10. That's one trip. Even if you went from New York to LA in your regular car or truck or your Dodge Charger or Challenger, you're not going to spend no $10,000 on gas. So imagine how much a private jet would spend in fuel. Because a private jet, although not as big or as heavy as a passenger airliner or Airbus or whatever, is still going to spend quite a bit of fuel to get a big piece of metal up in the sky and fly and maneuver and stay up in the air for a long period of time. It still costs a lot of money, and it's going to expend a lot of fuel. How much fuel are you spending for that particular amount of time in the air on a private jet? But then those same private jet flyers, frequent flyers, will tell you that you got to sell your Honda Civic with 200,000 miles on it to get an electric vehicle for like $75,000 because you got to be carbon neutral. You got to be green and efficient. It's silly. It's so dumb. Right? Hold on. Amara N said $50,000 one way on a small jet. Is that right? $50,000 one way on a small jet? Good grief. I mean, what in the world? That's wild. But I mean, I believe it. I mean, but again, those same people who ride those private jets tell you, oh man, you got to be green. You got to go green. Now, there was a reveal of the new, I think it was a new Charger. And you're going to see it and hear it. Now, I like the way the Charger looks. I like the way it looks, the new one. I like the way it looks. But there's something else that I'm not really feeling too tough. Hold on one second. First, I'm gonna show a couple of videos. I'm gonna show one video where they reveal it, and I think the other one might be something else. Hold on one second. Let's get this loaded up. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. So this is called the Charger Daytona SRT, and this is their concept for the next vehicle after they discontinue the gas versions of the Charger and the Challenger. So I mean, I like the way it looks. I'm not even going to lie to you, but I just wish it was an actual gas powered vehicle rather than electric. All right, it's just music right there. Try to turn that down. So it says it will drive, look, and feel like a muscle car in an electric vehicle. I don't know how they're going to achieve that, but we'll see. It says it's going to be powered by an 800-volt Banshee propulsion system. They say it's gonna be more powerful than the company's Hellcat gas model. You believe that? I don't know if I believe that. Got Tesla display type stuff going on the inside. Pistol grip shifter, etc., etc. Panoramic glass, like a Tesla, basically. Dodge Tesla. Okay, so that's a basic reveal, but now we gotta hear it. We gotta hear it because that was an issue. Hold on 1 second. Let's put this video up. It's a short. Now, let's hear the vehicle because that was a problem. People say, hey man, it's an electric vehicle. You're not gonna have the sound of the gas engine. So it has artificial exhaust noise. That's obviously not actual exhaust noise because it's electric. There's no exhaust noise. You're not going to hear it the same way you hear it from a gas because there's no gas. It's electric. So they have fake noise. Now I've heard this before. I think Ford did this, or it was. I'm not really sure. One of these car companies did this where they would pump fake noise through the speakers. It's like, man, come on, like that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, sound effects. Sound effects. That's right. Exactly, Ryan James. Sound effects. Yeah, that ain't really it. So the speakers, I'm not really sure where they are. Let's hear that one more time in case you didn't enjoy enough the first time. One more time for you guys.
Keith, get some still shots if you can.
That ain't it, man. That's not it. I would rather you just not have the noise than to have something like that. I could definitely do without that particular noise. But hey, it is what it is. Is there more from the for the noise?
What?
Oh yeah, so there's another video. It's probably that same event, a different perspective. Let's see if they have something here. Now the car is beautiful though. I like the way the car looks. But if that same car was had a V8 Hemi in it, then we'd be good money.
Yo. Oh my God. Bro. That is amazing. That is sick. What?
So it's like a fake idling noise too. It's weird.
The clear roof and everything, that's insane. Huh?
I just want to scream. Everybody's all quiet.
Oh, I know, because they're trying to hear it. They're trying to hear it.
So yeah, that's that. Welcome to 2024. Welcome to 2024. Now, what happens when the speakers like go bad, or you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, you got to go to the shop, and like they'd be like, okay, what's the problem? I can't hear my car anymore because the speakers have gone bad. Can you fix my speaker? Can you repair the radio so I can hear my fake exhaust? Oh yeah, 80,000 with no problem. That's definitely 80,000 easy. I mean, I'm seeing pickup trucks go for 100,000 right now. I'm seeing Toyota Tundras go for 100,000 plus. Brand new Tundras going for 100 grand plus. Oh yeah, that's definitely $80,000 off the just straight from the beginning. I mean, you paying $80,000 right now for a particular version of the Hellcat SRT. You paying for a wide body Hellcat. Yeah, you paying $80,000 for that now for the gas one. So imagine the electric. Oh yeah, you're paying at least six figures. And I think that won't be cheap at all. But they're telling you that you can buy an electric car and just be green and it's fine. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it, man. Be green and help the planet. And my question is, because, you know, I saw this notice from California about rolling blackouts. And they're talking about you got to conserve electricity. And they say you cannot power any large appliances past 4 p.m. From 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., you cannot power any large appliances. So you get off of work, 6:30, you come home, you want to plug your Tesla into the garage or wherever you plug it in. Oops, can't do that because you got rolling blackouts. Oops, can't do that because you have a power restriction. So what happens when everybody gets an electric car? If the current electrical grid cannot sustain itself fully without blackouts in California, for example, then how will it sustain itself when everyone goes to electric? Or not everyone, or when more of us go to electric? How will it sustain itself? How are you going to power the grid? With what will you power the grid? The same thing you powered the regular cars with before the change to electric? It's so silly. I don't really understand. We don't have a pollution problem from vehicles. So it's just, I feel like it's a way to control you. Because if you have an electric vehicle, I feel like they'd be able to hack into it, meaning the federales, federal government, they'd be able to hack into it and control you that way. Oh, hey man, you have not paid some fines. You've not paid your taxes. So we're going to shut your car off. I mean, it can happen. I've seen crazier things happen. I've seen crazier things. Things that you thought would never happen. Things you thought would only be a conspiracy theory. I've seen them happen in real life. I've actually seen it happen. So I won't be surprised. I think it's more about control than anything else. Not really not really about being green or carbon neutral or whatever. So we'll see. Rolling recharge times. Now, if they have rolling recharge times, then at that point, it's like, all right, well, what can I do that's not under your jurisdiction as far as the feds? Can I eat at a certain time? Can I shower at a certain time? Can I charge my car? Can I drive my car? Can I, at what point am I allowed to be out at night? You see what I mean? It's crazy. And they'll definitely track your car as well. They definitely track it since if it's electric, it's all computerized. It's computerized now, but then when they change to electric, they can track it. And also, you can't store electricity. Really, you can't store it. Somebody you can store okay. So for example, I can store a gas can on the back of my truck, but I can't necessarily store electricity. I can, but not really. Not as somebody I can store gas. So if you can't really store electricity, you kind of be dependent upon the electrical system, the electrical grid, to be able to power your vehicle within a certain area. Even if you are able to go somewhere else to power up outside of where you live, you got a certain range, 500 miles, 800 miles, or whatever it is. So it's just weird. I think you should be able to have electric vehicles if you want them. If you want a Tesla or something like that, go for it. But I don't think we should just abandon gas power vehicles. I think the technology is not here for it. We're not prepared. I think it's a politically driven thing that's not being thought out very well. This is why I don't like the federal government. I don't like them being in our lives because they do things that they think are the best for us. But in reality, it's just kind of like some harebrained schemes, really. It's harebrained, not very well thought out. All right. Yeah, and the batteries are very expensive. Like somebody said, you're paying $5,000 for a battery on a low end. On a low end. It doesn't make any sense. The technology that they want us to have is not currently available. That's all. When the technology catches up and it makes more sense and you're able to have cheaper batteries, you can store electricity better and whatnot, okay. But right now, it's not there. What makes the most sense is to have your gas-powered vehicles still available, still be an option. And that's just the reality of it. You can store energy in the battery, but, I mean, number one, for how long? How long will it sustain? Do you need to recharge it? And also, how much will it cost to have the kind of battery you need to store energy safely? That's all. And also, we've seen a lot of these electric vehicles burst into flames randomly. And like I said before, I understand that gas-powered vehicles catch on fire all the time. I see them on the side of the road, cars on fire. But the electric vehicles, I think they're more unpredictable. You see, with a gas-powered vehicle, a lot of times it's user error. You're doing something wrong with your vehicle, not maintaining it properly, you're not changing your oil. That's probably number one thing. I've been in cars where I smell the fire about to happen. It's like, can you change your oil, please? Good night. That right there will cause a fire. But I think electric vehicles, it could be anything that causes a fire. It could just be a random thing. You have no control over it. It's not even about user error. It's about some of these cars will do that. It's like, remember the hoverboard situation? And the hoverboards just randomly bust into flames. Like when people would order hoverboards, I think one of the hoverboards caught on fire in the cargo area of an airplane, just randomly by itself because of the lithium ion battery inside. A lot of cars are doing that same exact thing. So again, the technology is not really there. That's all. It's not perfected to the point where you can just make these cars on the mass level, meaning everybody have one. But I digress. We'll see. We'll see what's going on here in the future. Yeah, a random arc, broken record, exactly. Random arc, all of a sudden your car's on fire. That's kind of what happens. It's to the point where literally I saw a sign in the garage, probably was in Atlanta, that says it was like two particular types of electric vehicles that were banned from the garage because of a fire risk. Just electric vehicles, not your regular gas-powered vehicles. That's all. But thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. If you like what you heard thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Daniel says, ABL, what colors would your V8 Challenger be? I would get like a dark gray, like this color gray. Matter of fact, I'm wearing it right now. Like this color gray and black like this on the wheels. That's like how my truck is right now. So the same color as my truck, like a dark gray with the black wheels. To me, that's a beautiful color. On the inside, like a dark leather, like a black kind of off black. What am I trying to say? Like a matte black leather on the inside. Oh, beautiful. Either that or I get that white knuckle color. The white knuckle with some kind of like color interior, like a red interior, is beautiful. You get the red brake calipers with the red leather interior and then the white paint on the outside, or the dark gray with a dark color, like a matte black interior with the black wheels. Probably the gray and black. That's really my main go-to right there. All right. So you got a whole lot going on. Next, what am I going to talk about? There's so much on my list here. I don't know where to begin. The Finnish Prime Minister. Let's talk about her. Let's talk about the Finnish Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister of Finland is Sanna Marin, and I got to make sure I said her name right. I think I was saying Hannah or Marin Sanna because the name was backwards on Twitter, like the username. So Sanna Marin is a 36-year-old Prime Minister of Finland. Now, she's also a party girl. It is what it is. People can say that I'm being sexist or misogynistic or whatever. I'm just calling it how I see it. You can party and have fun and do what you want to do as a person, But once you get to be a prime minister, at a certain point, you got to think about what you're doing. If you're going to be partying and having fun or whatever, you shouldn't be doing it on camera. You shouldn't be doing it like on TikTok, like you are still in college or a normie. You're not a normie. You are a prime minister at this point. Okay, now I got some videos here. I can't play the sound because it's some copyright issues with the music in it. Let her be. She was having fun. That's what they say, right? But you're a prime minister, though. You're like the leader of a country. Shouldn't you have a little bit more tact and be professional about what you do? If you want to have fun, why must I see it on TikTok? Also, if you're married to a man, why are you in the club kissing on some dude or hugging on some dude that's not your husband? Why am I seeing that? Why are you just out at a club randomly like that? You're not going to see Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, nobody out there like that. Okay, remember when the football coach got caught up? The football coach got caught up like that. Hold on. It was a whole big thing. Wait a minute. Let me just. I'm gonna say this right here. You know what? It's funny because people they talk about men are equal to women and there's no difference, all this, that, and the third. But men, in my opinion, are held to a much higher standard than this woman is. It's like we know that women, they're gonna have fun. It's okay. It's not really a big deal. That's typically what I hear. Oh, she's awesome. If this was anybody else, if this was a male, like if it was Trump or Biden or Obama or Bush doing this, it would not be the same thing. It would not be the same thing. It would be, what are you doing, you moron? Why would you be out there in the club like that? Not even caring about who's filming you. Why would you be on TikTok doing stupid stuff like this? Looking drunk on camera? That's what it would be. The football, was it Urban Meyer? Thank you. Urban Meyer was in the club minding his, look, hold on. I'm going to show you the picture. It might have been a video of Urban Meyer. I'm going to show you that and the crazy backlash that he got from that as a football coach, not a leader of a nation, not the prime minister of Finland, a football coach. Hold on. Let's check it out. So,
despite the Jaguars,
remember this. Let me play it right quick. Okay. So this is Urban Meyer right here. He's sitting down at a club, minding his business, and a young lady is dancing on him, right? Hold on, let's back up a little bit so we get the full video. He's not doing anything other than just kind of sitting there. His hand is covering his area, so it's not touching up against him. That little bit of video right there, oh my goodness, a scandal. He had to apologize, had to do a press conference. This video right here has over 1 million, almost 2 million views, 1.7 million views for this news video of him doing this. Oh, I apologize and I'm sorry. And for that, again, a football coach, college football, not even the NFL. I think, was he in college or NFL? It don't matter. A football coach. Now, compare that to Miss Sanna Marin, who was in the club doing this. Let's play the video here. Hold on. It got music. So, look at this. Now, this man is not even her husband, and she's married. And she just got married in 2020. Okay? And they super hugged up. Super hugged up. She's letting them kiss all on her and everything else. Oh, she's having a good time, ABL. Let her be. All. But what about Urban Meyer was in the club just sitting there and the girl danced in front of him for like 2 seconds. And he wasn't even touching her. I mean, come on. Again, if it was the other way around, if it was a man right here doing this, then it wouldn't be the same level of empathy. It wouldn't be the same level of, oh, just leave her alone, all this and that. She's actively participating in dancing with this man, being real close. Oh, she's just dancing. Well, what kind of dance involves you kissing somebody, they're kissing you back on the dance floor? And the thing is, if you're going to do something like that, and here's where it gets a little bit weird, and please don't get triggered. I'm just saying this is just reality of the world in which we live. I don't say I condone this kind of behavior, so don't get that misconstrued. I'm just saying, if you're going to be doing stuff like this, you're married to a guy, and you want to be with another guy when your husband's at home, don't let people record you and put you on TikTok or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram. I mean, good grief. Have some dignity. Have a little bit of class. Do it behind closed doors like they do in Washington, D.C. Madison Cawthorn. Remember Madison Cawthorn? Madison Cawthorn came out and said that he was invited to a sex party by somebody on the Capitol Hill. I'm not sure if it was in the GOP or what. Don't matter. D.C., it's all the same. But anyway, he was invited to a sex party by somebody he respects in Congress. And he came out and said that. Now, right after that, he was punished by the GOP and the DNC, by the Democrats and Republicans alike. They punished him for that. Why? Because he put their business out on Front Street. Okay, they don't want to do stuff like that in public. Why? Because they have an image to uphold. They don't want to put all that out there like she did. Because you have political opponents, you have foreign adversaries, you have all kind of things that fly into the mix. Okay, like Hunter Biden laptop situation wouldn't be a big deal if he wasn't on the laptop smoking crack, telling secrets, being reckless. Hunter Biden could be a full-blown crackhead and you wouldn't know about it if you didn't put it out there to the public. And that's the whole point. Now, in Finland, borders Russia, basically, it's really toxic. You got the Baltic Sea right there. St. Petersburg, Russia's right there. It's really, really kind of iffy in that part of the world. So you, as leader of a nation, got to deal with Vladimir Putin. How are you going to deal with Vladimir Putin encroaching upon you when you can't even deal with some random dude in the club encroaching upon you? And you put that out there for everybody to see. You're not even taking the steps to conceal it. That's reckless in my humble opinion, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, now here's another video of her dancing. Now, and here's a longer video of the one that kind of went viral. Somebody is saying that I can't read all this. You got some cussing in it, but there was mention of cocaine perhaps in this particular video. So you may have drug use, alcohol use, all of that in this video with your prime minister in it. That's almost going to the level of Hunter Biden. And we know how ridiculous the whole Hunter Biden thing is. He's not even the president. He's the president's son. So imagine the president himself pulling Hunter Biden in a video, smoking crack, drinking, doing whatever. It's not good. Okay, so the sound is off, or it should be, because I don't want to have the music playing, and then I get striked. So that's her right there in the black. You know, that's to the camera. I don't understand why. It's like, you're the prime minister. Like, I know you have more pressing issues to worry about than dancing on TikTok. I would presume. Like, remember the TikTok nurses? You doing whole choreographed sets. Meanwhile, you're talking about people that are dying in the ICU, dying in the hallway with no bed, but you got time to do a TikTok dance and a TikTok routine. It's the same thing, but a little bit worse in my opinion. All right, so that's her dancing some more, and then somebody's putting some kind of, I don't know what that is. That was pretty random. But yeah, like now she's on the ground, kind of gyrating, making faces like she's 18. If you're a normie doing stuff like this, live your life, have fun. But the president. So yeah, I think it's interesting as I close on that particular topic. I think it's interesting that people are giving her so much of a pass. Oh, you go, girl. They're doing that for her because she's a woman. And they think that they're inferior anyway. So it's like, whatever. The man should be the one who has more decency, has more tact, and doesn't do stuff like that. A man can't do that kind of stuff and get away with it. Again, the football coach was in the club just sitting there chilling with his hand right in, covering his manhood, so she didn't touch it. He wasn't touching her. He was just kind of close to her. She's dancing. He didn't touch her, kiss her, talk to her, nothing. And that was a big scandal as a football coach. So let's just compare apples to apples. And the whole thing with Donald Trump, oh my goodness, with Trump, the whole Stormy Daniels thing, it was an accusation. Like you didn't see Stormy Daniels in the video with Trump. You would never see him in the video with a person that's not his wife. He wouldn't be out there reckless like that. Or Joe Biden or Barack Obama. You wouldn't see Obama in the video with some girl or whoever that he's with. You're not going to see that because they have a little bit of responsibility to themselves. They're more responsible. That's all. Big time double standards. That's right, Bob K. MIC. Big time double standards. All right. But that's pretty much what that is. Now I'll move right forward here. Let me see. Hold on. Sometimes Friendly says, heard a great comment today. Women are elevated for doing things that would be considered toxic in men. Yeah, I agree. And briefly, speaking about women and men and stuff like that, briefly, I promise briefly, they went ahead and banned Andrew Tate from Instagram and Facebook, which is the same thing, owned by the same company called Meta. Andrew Tate had already been banned from Twitter a long time ago. I think maybe even years ago. And he'd been banned from TikTok as well. I'm not sure about YouTube or whatever. Now, if you don't know who Andrew Tate is, basically he's a guy that, to make a long story short, what he's known for recently is his hot takes on relationships and women. But before he was known for that, he was a kickboxer for a long time. He's from UK. He was in Big Brother UK. He's done quite a few things outside of the internet, outside of social media, YouTube. He's done quite a few things beyond that. So he had a name, he had money before what has happened recently, what I think happened was this. He had been talking about a few things on podcasts for a while, Fresh and Fit and other podcasts, talking about women, talking about men, relationships, and the alpha male type stuff. He had been doing that for a while, but I think what happened was Kevin Samuels died. Rest in peace to my friend. Kevin Samuels died, and then there was a void that Andrew Tate kind of filled. I'm not saying he's trying to be Kevin Samuels. I'm just saying it was just something that happened. He was already there doing this thing for quite a long time, for years. But when Kevin passed, it's like, okay, you got a void of that kind of, stone-faced, kind of harsh critic. And I think Andrew Tate filled that void. That's probably what happened. And when he became very popular, more than what he already was, like, put it to you this way. Kevin died in May of this year. Andrew Tate had, I think, 1 million followers on Instagram right around that in May. But by June or July, he had like almost 5 million followers on Instagram. You see, again, he was already doing very well for himself, but he took off right around June, July of this year. So that's what that was. But anyway, he becomes very popular, and they don't like that Facebook and Instagram. He may not even necessarily violate terms of service, really, but he became a political problem. There was big complaints about Andrew Tate. I saw one video, it wasn't on TikTok, but it was a TikTok video, meaning I saw the TikTok video on a different platform. So it had been reshared a lot. It was very popular. It had gone viral. And the video was of a teacher talking about how her 11-year-old boy students are being influenced by Andrew Tate. So they go into class the first day talking to girls. Or at least one boy said to a girl, "You're fat and you're lazy," stuff like that, right? So that became very popular. He becomes persona non grata. You have whole NGO making complaints about him. Oh, he's got to go. He's dangerous. They're allowing him to spread this hatred toward women. So they had to ban him because he became a political problem. It was the whole Alex Jones issue, right? When the whole Sandy Hook thing happened, when that lawsuit started and it got very serious, then it's time to go ahead and ban Alex Jones from all the platforms because of who he is, not because he violated terms of service. It's because you're messing up the money. We're getting big complaints from the advertisers and we're starting to lose money because of you. So you got to go. That's what it's about. It's about political stuff. It's about money. That's it. That's why they went ahead and banned Andrew Tate. But yeah, as far as his particular content, I can't say I watched it that much. I've seen some things that he said. I've seen some things that he said that made sense. Matter of fact, I'm going to play this one clip and then I move right forward. The truth does hurt. It hurts. Like, it hurts really, really badly. People can't always, they can't always handle the truth. Hold on one second. Here's a clip that people may not like. You guys, I think, will understand what he's saying here, but a lot of guys aren't going to like it. So this is Andrew Tate talking to Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports, and I'm only going to play like about a minute of this. If you want to see this full thing, if you probably go to Barstool Sports YouTube page, probably be on there. So let's hear this, and then you let me know what you think and if it's a bannable type of thing or not.
Off the top of my head.
Cool. Well, let me tell you, this is a Western phenomenon, and it's truly and utterly Western. If you were to go on a date in America, you'd have a girl sitting there trying to tell you she's your equal. If you were to go on a date in Moscow, you'd have a girl sitting there going, my man needs to take care of me. I want him to take care of me. I'll do my job, but he must protect and provide for me. So it's a Western phenomenon, right? It depends where you go. It depends. And this whole idea of this obsession with equality is a truly Western thing. And I don't think it's particularly healthy or important. I don't look at a woman thinking, is she my equal? Is she below me? Is she above me? I don't do that. I sit with a woman and we either enjoy each other's company or we don't. But I know my roles as a man. I believe that as a man, I should pay for the first date. I believe I should open the car door. I believe I should protect for her, provide for her. I believe if she's my woman, she should be able to come to me with her problems and I should fix them. That makes me a sexist and a horrible person. Fine.
It doesn't. I agree with everything you just
said,
but I also think
by extension,
she can have a higher IQ than me.
Okay, so by extension, right? Because this is what happens. You agree with the baseline. Everyone agrees with the foundations of what I say, but when I build on top of it, they try and pretend it's sexist. By extension, if I have authority over her, if I have responsibility over her, I apologize. If I have responsibility, which I have, I'm paying for things, I'm making sure she's safe, I'm driving her, I'm taking out the car, etc. If I have responsibility over her, then I must have a degree of authority. For the same reason, if I have responsibility over, and everyone's going to lose their mind, it's an example, it's only an analogy. If I have responsibility over a child, I have to have some authority. You cannot be responsible for something that doesn't listen to you. You can't be responsible for a dog if it doesn't obey you, or a child if it doesn't obey you, or a woman that doesn't obey you.
The super sexist path.
It's not sexist to say I'm responsible for her.
If you compared a woman to a dog and a baby.
See, he reduced all of what he said to that little soundbite right there, comparing it to a dog and a baby. Oh, you called her a dog. You see how what he said made perfect sense. He's like, look, I'm going to do everything right. I'll be the perfect gentleman, but I must have a degree of authority over you if I'm going to do all that. Same as a child or a dog. I'm not trying to call you that. I'm just saying that's just what it is. You know, if you refuse to listen to what I'm saying, then I can't do all these things for you. It doesn't really make any sense. But so that kind of stuff right there, that's why he got banned, because people, they get offended. Look, you see her face right there? Look at this. Look at this. Look at that face. That face right there, that's why Andrew Tate got banned. Okay? That's why.
Yeah, and I knew that was going to be, that's why I said everyone's going to lose their mind. It's just
maybe pick some better ones then if you want the women to listen to you.
See what I'm saying? It's like, what can you really do? I understood what he meant. Why get so triggered? Why get so butthurt? People just get so offended easily. They get offended easily, and it tune you out. But you can't talk. You can't talk on eggshells at a certain point. You can't talk on eggshells. You gotta just say what makes sense and connect people that way. Just speak, you know. And I think that's the reason why he became so popular, is because he was is a direct communicator, unlike a lot of people who will get offended at the slightest thing, or they try to find things to be offended at and use that to just dismiss your whole thing. Okay, that's what's going on. People that have weird styles of arguments, it's crazy. All right. So that's just kind of what it is. What he said was right. And you guys agree. Take it to Amanda. Amanda says, I love my husband being in charge. There you go. Shout out to Amanda. That's right. That's right. A man, and he was a kickboxer, professional fighter, so he's going to protect the woman physically. He's going to provide for her financially. If she has issues, she comes to him with it. He's going to sit there and solve things for her. He's going to do his part. You do your part, and it's fine. But we can't talk like that in the USA, so let's ban you. Let's go ahead and ban you. That's all. It's crazy, but it is what it is. So shout out to him. I don't think his ban will affect him that much because just like other guys on YouTube, Charleston White and whatnot, they will still make appearances on other people's platforms. The only guy that they've been able to ban from other platforms is Trump. Trump will do a podcast with somebody and they'll delete that podcast. But they don't really do that for anybody else, just Trump. Because, again, it's the same thing. It's a political thing, persona non grata, I don't like you. I'll ban you specifically because you are a problem. Not because you violated terms of service. It's because you are the issue. That's all. All right, but that's that. We got more topics on deck, but I figured I'll talk about that because that was in the news a little bit. Speaking about podcasters and whatnot on the YouTubes, Sam Harris. Now, I did not know who Sam Harris was before all this. I've heard his name, but I don't really know a lot about him. He's one of these intellectual guys on the internet, and I guess that's what he does. He's an intellectual guy who has a big following, and he has a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. So this guy, Sam Harris, says that, hey, man, it's all right that they suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story and deleted or whatever, blocked New York Times from being able to post because Trump lost. And part of the reason Trump lost is because they suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story. Okay. So it's perfectly fine. Matter of fact, he said a little bit more than that. Let me see if I can find the video right quick. So do you guys know about Sam Harris? What's your opinion about him? Is he conservative guy, liberal, kind of like one of these? Is he a fence rider? Like, who is he really? You guys probably know more than I do. I don't know a lot about this guy. I just saw his take on the internet, and I'm like, really? And I've heard about him before, heard his name before, so I know he's somebody, but I don't know a lot about him personally. That's all. He's an atheist? Oh, okay. There you go. That explains it. And I'm not going to say that there's anything wrong with being an atheist, but I think that a lot of and don't get triggered atheists, but a lot of atheists will, how can I say this? Their atheism is a belief in itself, but they talk about how they don't believe in anything. Not all, but a lot of people do that. Me, I'm just non-religious, but I do believe that there's God, there's a God and all of that. I believe in spirituality, but I don't necessarily believe in organized religion the way that we know of it today. I don't really subscribe to that, really. I respect Christianity, of course, but I'm not really going to be the guy that says I follow it when I know that that's not really what I do. I'm not going to be fake and lie to you. But I'm not an atheist at all, not in the least bit, because there's so much evidence of a creator. It's like, hold on. Matter of fact, let me find that. There was one thing I saw that I'm like, okay, come on, random explosions, really? Because what they say, they say that all of what we know, the universe, the sun, the moon, stars, all of that was created from a series of random explosions. It created perfect symmetry. Like, look at this. Look at this right here. This is a human cell. So look at how complex this is. Do you think that this was created by random explosions? I mean, come on. Like, seriously? Like, I don't care what you believe in, but just think about it. use your brain, use your common sense. Does this appear to be random explosions? This is a single human cell. I come on. And then just everyday life, just observe nature around you. I'll go outside a lot and just look around and see things, just the way the trees are, the root systems. I mean, come on. The way that the ecosystem works, how all the animals kind of work together, that's not on accident how that happens. That's something that was designed specifically to be that way. All right. So that's all I'm saying. So I'm not an atheist. I don't think you could be an atheist and believe that there's a higher power, right? You believe there's nothing. But how can there be nothing when you see stuff like this? I don't really get it. But anyway, so here's your man Sam Harris talking about, hey man, I don't care if Hunter Biden had dead kids in the basement. It's fine because it was worth it in the end.
I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared, right? It's like, there's nothing. First of all, it's Hunter Biden, right? It's not Joe Biden. But even if whatever scope of Joe Biden's corruption is, like if we could just go down that rabbit hole endlessly and understand that he's getting kickbacks from Hunter Biden's deals in Ukraine or wherever else, right? Or China, it is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved in. It's like a firefly to the sun, right? I mean, like there's just it doesn't even stack up against Trump University, right? Trump University as a story is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view, right? Now that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely it was.
He says right here, it's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. He says it right here. Let's rewind so you can hear it one more time.
Shut down the New York Post's Twitter account. Like that's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely it was. Absolutely. Right. But I think it was warranted. Right. And again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
That particular piece.
I'm really sorry. I was the one that said we should move on, but you've just
said
something I really struggle with there, which is
the kids in the basement.
Fuck basement. I'm interested in democracy. You're saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left-wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left-wing.
But you just said that it was left-wing conspiracy. You just said that earlier. Remember, I paused it and I rewound it. You just said that. So now you're saying that it's not that. So which one is it? What's the story you want to stick to today, Sam Harris?
Right. Liz Cheney is doing everything in her power
to prevent somebody being democratically elected.
But there's nothing conspiracy. It's not. It was a conspiracy out in the open. But it doesn't matter if it was. It doesn't matter what part's conspiracy, what part's out in the open. I mean, I think it's like if people get together and talk about what should we do about this phenomenon. If it's like if there was an asteroid hurtling toward Earth, and we got in a room together with all of our friends and had a conversation about what we could do to deflect its course, right? Is that a conspiracy? Like some of
So there you have it. I mean, a comet hurtling toward Earth, that's the equivalent of Trump being reelected. These people are crazy. I mean, the Trump derangement syndrome is 100% real. It's absolutely crazy. People, they still have it. Like, they're still really on it. I mean, it's like, man, come on. Trump has been gone for the past 2 years from office. So why is Trump still the main topic of your mind? Why is he still the topic of conversation? Talk about who's in there right now, messing with the economy, messing with the monies. Talk about that guy rather than a guy who's not there anymore. It's crazy. An asteroid. That's right, NKM. Trump is an asteroid. That's right. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But that's TDS for you. Trump derangement syndrome. people that have it, man, like you bring up Trump, they automatically turn off. And that is because of what the media has done. They created a boogeyman. You know, there's always, I won't say there's always, but there's oftentimes a boogeyman, somebody that, somebody to blame, somebody to point the finger at and say, hey man, it's your fault. You're the reason why X, Y, and Z has happened, or the reason why X, Y, and Z has not happened. You're the reason. I'm going to blame you. It's a boogeyman. So, and it was so weird because everything was going so well under Trump. That's the funny part. So you couldn't really blame anything that was happening on Trump because everything was good. You just had to make Trump be a villain, make him be this bad guy. And this whole thing with the FBI raid, that's one more thing they try to use against him. Oh, you know, well, Trump's being actively investigated. They raided him at Mar-a-Lago. Okay, they raided him, but for what though? Some papers. What did he take? Some horse betting sheets, some White House stationery with the logo on it. What did he take? I mean, it couldn't be anything worse than what Hillary Clinton did with having a whole email server in her basement. Where was the raid on Hillary Clinton? Or the raid on, what was it, Podesta or Slick Willie himself or anybody else? How about a raid on Jim Comey or Peter Strzok? But you're going to raid Trump. It's all because it's political in nature. And the federales, the FBI, I kind of feel for them because you got a lot of guys and girls that mean well on the FBI force. They do a good job, but the leadership is the problem. The people at the top are using them as a political weapon, as a political battering ram, quite literally, to go and carry out things to help them and their political aspirations. Like they're the enforcement arm of the Democratic Party, the same way that you have Black Lives Matter and Antifa. You got the FBI, the DOJ, etc., doing the same exact things. And this is part of the reason why I don't like big government, federal government, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Right? This is what happens. They use this big power to do whatever they want. And a lot of times they do things that just don't make any sense. The Fast and the Furious, that was the dumbest thing I ever seen in my life. But when you have so much power and you could do that, you could do whatever you want. You just do it. And you won't really think twice. That's kind of how it operates many times. You know, the country was doing much better up under Trump, but the powers that be did not want him to be there. They wanted to be in charge. So they got him out of there and they put themselves back in charge. And the country, it went down the toilet so quick. I'm talking about super, super quick. Like instantly. 6 months, it was a wrap. It was crazy. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of hard. I think what's happening, to go back to the whole Trump raid at Mar-a-Lago, I think what's happening here is that they want him to announce that he's going to run or not run. Speaking about Donald Trump, they think he's going to announce he's going to run. They want him to do it right now. If he does it right now, what's going to happen is they're going to run on that and fundraise on that in the midterms, because what's the whole thing going to be? Keep Trump out. Not even about what they're doing, not even about what's happening right now in the country, nothing about inflation, gas prices, real estate prices, or lack thereof, real estate, nothing about Afghanistan, Russia, Ukraine, Taiwan, China, etc. Nothing about that. Keep Trump out. And a lot of these soft-brained normies who don't know any better will buy into it. They'll totally buy into it. They'll forget how good things were under Trump. They'll totally forget about that. They'll ignore how bad things are right now under Biden because their mind has been trained like a dog to focus on how bad they think Trump is as a person. Not even about what he did in the country, but him as a person. Oh, the media told me, the TV told me that you're a bad guy, that you're a racist. Where's the evidence? Ain't no evidence. I was told by the TV, by Don Lemon, by little Brian Stelter. Shout out to Mark Dice. Little Brian Stelter. Shout out to little Brian Stelter. They told me that you're a bad guy. And speaking about Brian Stelter, I got to move forward. So Brian Stelter, little Brian Stelter is out over at CNN. Now, I can't say I'm surprised, really. I say it's about time. I think the new guy over there, and I forget his name. You guys know who I'm talking about. But the new guy over there, the new CEO, the new head honcho, he is cleaning up shop. Quite literally. They got rid of Toobin, and I don't know why they brought Jeffrey Toobin back. That was a crazy decision. An absolute crazy decision. Who in their right mind said bring that guy back? I mean, maybe the incident that shall remain nameless was a mistake. Maybe he thought he was by himself and it was time for his appointment. You understand what I'm saying? And I won't go any further than that. But maybe it was a mistake. But he's expendable. Why must you bring that guy back? Why? Is he so important? I mean, come on. Is he like the central figure of CNN? Is he the moneymaker? Is he like I don't know, is he a Stephen A. Smith to ESPN over at CNN? Why must you bring him back? And then the way they brought him back, they interviewed him and spoke about the incident. Disgusting. He should have been fired right when that happened and never come back. Period. But they brought him back. So it's been quite a few people that got fired. Hold on. I got a meme I can find somewhere right quick. Give me 1 second. And if you like what you are hearing thus far, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hold on. I got that meme somewhere. Let me find it. But there's been quite a few people that got fired or let go or whatever it is from CNN. And there's going to be quite a few more, I suppose. So while I was trying to find that, who's going to be next? Who's going to be the next person that gets removed from CNN? Is it going to be Don Lemon? I think so. I don't know who else they're going to get. Who else will be next? It should be Don. And I'm going to play this montage of some CNN fails in a minute after I find the meme I want. But is it going to be next? Is it going to be Don Lemon next? I mean, do they have anybody else? They got rid of Toobin and who was that? Chris Cuomo, Jeff Zucker, the CEO, the former CEO, Wolf Blitzer, I think he's gone. I mean, who else? Just start over again. Start with a whole brand new squad and do it that way. That'll probably be the best way to go about it. All right. I can't find the one I'm looking for. Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. Lemonhead is next. Rachel Maddow. Oh, she's on MSNBC, I think. Oh, is it Acosta? Yeah, hopefully Acosta can go. Yeah, Jim Acosta can go. Absolutely. That's a good one. CNN sucks. I never forget when he was so triggered and scared while the crowd at a Trump event was chanting, CNN sucks. It was beautiful. It was beautiful to see. All right. So I think I have, I know where it might be. Let me see if I can find it in here. Nah. All right. Let's check this out. So here's the one meme I got for you guys. It's just a funny meme. Then I'm gonna get to the compilation. So what you have right here is a dump truck that's about to dump a trash can or something, and it has CNN logo on the side, and you have Stelter inside the trash can. All right, we got music right there. We can't be playing that. So then the truck is dumping it. It catches on fire. And then they got him like with some potato head. They got a little bit of everything going on. Fake news crown. Now, okay, this part right here is halfway real. He wasn't on the toilet, but he did have his pants off recording in his house. And for some reason, they decided to record that. It's like, sir, what are you doing? Like, you would never see me doing nothing like that. I'm not showing you with my pants off. Nah, put some pants on, sir. Ain't nobody trying to see that. So that's that right there. So that's your man. Look at that face. It the clown. It the clown. Good grief. Man, oh man. Hey, one of the best rants ever in the history of media was when Alex Jones went in on your man Brian Stelter. Hold on, I gotta play that right quick. I might not even get to the compilation. I gotta play the Stelter rant, but I don't want to take too long because I know we got other stuff.
It's Brian Stelter. There it is. Oh, my God. I mean, that is a horror movie cover. Seriously, he is scarier looking than It the Clown. I mean, would you let your children anywhere near that psychopath? I mean, that is a psychopath right there. I mean, look at him. God. Oh, I mean, it cries out, danger, danger, alert, alert. I am a scumbag. I am filth. I am your enemy. I would literally not be able to finish my dinner if somebody walked over and talked to me that looked like these two guys. And I'm sorry. They're not just lying anti-American scumbags that want to run us all on the ground because they're little men. They're pieces of crap. They think they're better than everybody. That's what it's about. It's a spirit of evil, and we must break them. Oh. I've tried to do joke photos like this to look disingenuous, and I can make any face I want to. I can't pull it off because the eyes, Chico. It's always in the eyes. Oh, my gosh. Oh, hell on earth. He wants to run your life. He wants to control every aspect of your life because he knows he is a cowardly, degenerate sack of anti-human trash. I pledge before my Heavenly Father that I will resist them every way I can. These people are the literal demon spawn of the pit of hell. Look.
Free Alex Jones. Again, free Alex Jones. Infowars.com. Free Alex Jones.
Look at him. And you know what? He is better than you if you keep letting him run your life. He runs your kids. He runs the schools. He runs the banks. This guy, this spirit, this smiling, leering devil that thinks you can't see what he is your enemy, period. All the narcissistic, devil-worshipping filth. I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. Enemy, enemy. You are my enemy. And I swear total resistance to you with everything I've got. Disingenuous, fake, false, broke back, twisted, a defiler, a betrayer, a backstabber, a devil. You will pay. Yeah, you think I don't see your face, scum? You don't think I don't see you, Stelter? I see you. You understand me? I know what you think of me and my family. I see you right back. You understand that? You understand that, Stelter? Stelter. You will fall. You will not bring humanity down. God is going to destroy you. Get him off the screen. Oh, God, they're so evil. Just please, God, free us from them.
Alex Jones, you're the man. Alex Jones, you are a legend, living legend. I promise. Like, I don't care what nobody say. Alex Jones is the man. Point blank, period. That rant right there was from a few years ago. One of the best rants I've ever heard in my whole life. Oh man, that was great. That was great. So now Stelter is gone from CNN. So what's he gonna do next? Is it gonna be a podcast? Are you gonna tune into the Brian Stelter podcast? I will only tune in if he has on Mark Dice as his first guest, and he's got to let him do the voice. I want Brian Stelter to bring on Mark Dice for the first episode of his podcast, and I want Mark Dice to do the voice throughout the entire podcast. Can I do it? Oh, I'm little Brian Stelter, and we're here to do the news today, and reliable sources podcast. Yay! I want that voice throughout the whole podcast. Mark Dice, if you're listening, do it the whole time. If you try to get serious, still maintain the voice. Do not break character. Do not break your voice frame. So yeah. Oh man, he's gone. He's out of here. And I can't wait to see who's going to be next over on CNN, who next to bite the dust. And how are they going to resurface? Who are they going to bring on to try to reboot the network? That'd be fantastic. Did I do it well, Danielle? Thank you. I appreciate it. I tried my best to do the Alex, not Alex Jones, the Brian Stelter voice. All right, so we got super chats on that I got to get to. I pretty much cover everything. Oh, I don't have time, but I was going to cover the bad coach mom, but we know what's going on with that. I don't have time to cover that really. I got time to hit super chats and then move on to the calls because we're right at the hour and 30-minute mark. They're all going to the View. Speaking about everybody that was on CNN, are they going to the View? They might as well. That's like where careers go to die, ain't it? Your career goes to the View to die. Once you go to the View, you pretty much are done for. So you may as well go there. Because what else are you going to do after you were on CNN? I don't know. But let's go ahead and get to the supers. Hold on 1 second. Let me find where I'm at. And then we can go ahead and get cracking here. All right. And today's the 20th. Yes, it is. Well, I got quite a few here. Okay. Thank you to Butt versus Windshield, who says China has a very serious housing economy problem. Already covered that. That's for the 17th. Thank you to Apple, who says don't take Sam Harris seriously. He's Ben Stiller. Also, Trump University is worse than CCP corruption. Not. Credit to Sam Harris for regretting Biden because Afghanistan. Well, okay, interesting. Apple also says not one Democrat nor military officer resigned because of Afghanistan's debacle. 13 military personnel murdered and Biden droned an innocent family. No honor at all. That's right. Also, any ABL fans in Kentucky, please vote out Mitch. God bless J6 MAGA in DC jail solitary. Defund FBI. Right on. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. Buffalo's Windshield says, so in Alberta, Canada, the leading cause of death is now unknown causes. Unknown causes has a 700% increase since 2019. What could be the cause? I wonder what happened in 2020, 2021, 2022 that may have increased, quote unquote, unknown causes of death. I wonder what happened. Is it start with a J and end with an ab? Does it start with an S and end with a hot? I'm just saying, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything. I'm just asking questions. Thank you to Apple again, who says Trump should live stream CCTV footage of the raid. Make it a pay-per-view. $20. All proceeds to Tunnels to Towers Code of Vets. Oh, I pay that for sure. Yeah. If that was a setup and that was the cost, I'd definitely pay it. For sure. Also, what's the best Ben Stiller movie? Thoughts on Tropic Thunder? I'm not really a Ben Stiller fan like that. So, like, meaning I don't have anything against him, but I won't go and be like, hey, you know what? Let's watch this brand new Ben Stiller movie. That's not really what I'm into. I'm not into that. So I've not seen that before. I've never seen Tropic Thunder before, so I don't even know nothing about that, really. I've seen, like, clips of it, but I've not seen the movie before. So I don't even know. Hold on. Let me see what Ben Stiller's been in. Zoolander. Probably, I saw some of Zoolander. That was okay. That was funny. Tropic Thunder. I mean, yeah, I never watched that. I saw, like, the blackface and all that, but I didn't really watch it. Yeah, these movies kind of suck. I mean, Dodgeball. Little Fockers, Meet the Fockers. I mean, yeah, not really my kind of movie. I'm not really into it. You know, I like a John Wick or something like that. You know what I mean? Matrix. Yeah, Keanu Reeves. That's my guy. Keanu Reeves. People like that. Yeah. Now, if you say the best Keanu Reeves movie, I say The Matrix, the OG Matrix, 100%. The last Matrix was awful. It was terrible. It was woke. It was woke Matrix, unfortunately. Also, ABL, cantaloupe, honeydew, or watermelon. Favorite? Watermelon all day long. But I like them all though. I like cantaloupe and honeydew, but watermelon is a top. Oh, Something About Mary, was he in that? That was good. Meet the Parents. Happy Gilmore. Yeah, that was a good one. But yeah, I like more violence. I like violence in my movies, action, you know, like things that are just moving a lot. I don't like horror movies because they aren't scary. Except for It. It was good. The new It was good. But beyond that, I'm not really scared. I like action movies. Things that just keep going, you know. A lot of twists and turns and stuff like that. A lot of gunplay. But movies where it's like, they're trying to be like a rom-com. It's like a chick flick. I can't do nothing with it. Anyway, thoughts on Quentin Tarantino? You like his movies? Quentin Tarantino is a weird person. Quentin Tarantino is the epitome of a strange Hollywood director who's kind of a little pervy on top of that. Django Unchained was good. Pulp Fiction was good. But beyond that, I don't really know. TJ Jizzle says, will the red carpet walk you guys be appearing on, be televised for us online perhaps? Please keep the beard, Santa. Thank you. I don't know if it's going to be televised. That's a good question. I don't think it will, but it could be recorded. But I don't know about televised though, but probably recorded. Apple also says General Lee, Knight Rider, DeLorean, Herbie Lovebug, the General Lee all day. Ball vs. Windshield says 1967 GTO with the Bobcat conversion kit, that tri-power 6-barrel carburetor. Ooh la la, that gets my motor running. Apple also says Ferrari, Porsche, Corvette, Lamborghini, Acura NSX. Lambo out of those. The Porsche, I like the Porsche as well. I see Porsches a lot, so I just like them because I see them a lot. But Lambo. That gets to Michael Critchlow, who says electromagnetic pulse EMP will humble the world. It will. That gets to Hammer AZ, who says hello ABL, hello right back to you. Falcon Blizz Bat says, did you see Anthony Joshua's behavior after he lost? No, I didn't. What happened? What did he do? Ball vs. Windshield says, I'm not sure, but I think electric cars do not do well in 100-degree Fahrenheit or negative 20-degree Fahrenheit temperatures. They don't. Because them batteries get real hot. And if they get too cold, they're not really going to be able to crank. They're not going to really be able to start on you, you know. But when the batteries get real hot, they can only cool themselves so much. It's a whole cooling system that goes on the battery in the Tesla at least. But you in Phoenix, Arizona, that's going to fail at a certain point. Pocket Watching with JT, shout out to you, boss. He says, shout out to ABL, great live stream. Thank you, man. I appreciate you for joining. Y'all go support Pocket Watching with JT. A lot of good content over there. You know, a lot of good financial stuff. And just a really good channel overall. So shout out to Pocket Watching with JT. Y'all check him out right now on the YouTubes. Ball vs. Windshield says, Finley PM is just looking for a hunter boyfriend. Probably so. 666 King Drummer says, just want to remind everyone that Finland is supposedly in a quote-unquote crisis because of Ukraine, which is why they say they need to join NATO over. Yet the PM is out doing this. Exactly. What kind of crisis involves you in the club twerking and drinking and doing cocaine and whatnot? But anyway, thank you to What The, who says, PM should have gotten blackmail, and the people she was supposed to serve would have suffered the consequences. Well, thank you to Handmaid who says, moment of truth tonight and tomorrow, detailing election problems in 50 states, solutions for the future, complete with the movie. And it's on Frank's speech. Thank you for that. Thank you to Michael Critchlow who says, Crowder got banned for interviewing Kari Lake. I heard about that. I heard about her getting banned, but I didn't know what for. Probably because of the whole election thing. That's probably what happened, because she is saying that it was stolen and whatnot, and you can't do that on YouTube, apparently. So, yeah. But he always gets banned, though. He always gets banned from YouTube. It's like a never-ending thing. There's always something with Steven Crowder getting banned for something. Thank you to Daphne who says Sam Harris has no moral compass to go by, so any kind of wrongdoing goes in his eyes. The Christian community is very familiar with him and his radical views. Thank you to Caius Posthumous who says, would you say the IRS will take us back to 1775? I mean, I don't know. It's possible. Thank you to Mary M who says, Act Nation wants you to keep the beard. I got you, Act. Don't even worry about it. So do I. Super distinguished. Thank you for that. And deep government and FBI corruption. Thank you to Caius Posthumous who says, why isn't any other Trump family members running? That's a good question. What would they run for and where? That's a good question, though. I'm not really sure why. Thank you to Tony Danza who says Stephen King says he would miss Brian Stelter. I bet he would. I bet he would miss Brian Stelter. And before I get to the calls, to answer the question about Trump family running, I thought Trump Jr. would run because he was doing a book run a couple years ago, maybe more than that. But it appeared to be more than the book run. He was campaigning for himself. So, I mean, I think, well, I'll put it to you this way. I think they may run, but they want to leave room for their father because they don't want to run while their father is running. You know, if Trump runs, if OG, the father, if Donald Trump runs, they want to go out and support him on the campaign trail. But if he doesn't run, then they can run because they won't try to like compete or overshadow him. You can't overshadow him, but you don't want to compete with him either. You don't want to compete for that attention. You want all the attention to be on one person at a time. So if it's Donald Trump Sr., let it be on him. If it's Trump Jr., let it be on him. If it's Eric, if it's Ivanka, whoever, let it be on them specifically at one at a time, not splitting the Trump attention between people, if that makes any sense. So I think after Trump announces what he's going to do, then you may see more action from the kids, potentially. We'll see. All right. We got calls on deck. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email that's called through Skype. If Skype doesn't work, it's not my fault. Y'all know who to blame. Blame the white man because I didn't do it. All righty. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we'll see what happens with Trump. If he's going to announce, they want him to announce so bad. Okay. Here goes Skype messing up. I got to sign back into Skype. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Tell me some, for your security, we signed you out of Skype. Okay, great. Fantastic. Thank you. That's wonderful. But I got a show to run. I don't got time for all this extra stuff, right? Hold on. Let me see if I can go ahead and get this. They sent me a code, I suppose, to my email. I'm just waiting on that. Y'all give me a second, please. And then I'm going to go ahead and get right back into it. And if you like what you're hearing so far, give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Yeah, Skype. I mean, it's always something, right? Skype just wants to do its own thing, but it's all good. I'm not really too upset about it. You know, just gotta roll with the punches. And that's just kind of how that is. So let's wait for a second. Hold on. Let me see if I could do this. because I don't got time for all this extra stuff. Yeah, you got to blame the white man. The white man's holding me back. The white man's holding me up here. I can't log into Skype for about 2-3 minutes because y'all know why. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Let me see. Messing with the business, man. Messing with the business. It's like, yo, they know that I gotta do this, but it's whatever. It's okay. All right, I'll read some comments in the meantime so I can get to the calls because it's like a little bit of a block right here. I'm moving to Zoom, but see the thing about Skype. Skype gives me a phone number as well, so that's how I'm able to take calls is through a phone number on Skype. And also, I can do video at the same time. So I got both in one app. All right, let's try this. Okay, hold on 1 second. That ain't it. Oh my gosh. All right. Y'all please hold on. Okay. Oh, we back. There we go. Yay. Calling on speaker to 860.
Hey, ABL, it's up in A Ranger Xbox, buddy. Your Skype's working.
There it
Can
is.
you hear me?
I heard you well.
Awesome. Last week you couldn't hear me, so oh well, I had to wait a while. That's okay. A lot of good callers. How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, it's all good, man. Can't complain.
Maybe you should ask them if you're old enough now to get the adult version of Skype, where they don't need to nursemaid your security. Oh man, so much to talk about, but I'm gonna narrow it down to one subject. And I'm 62 years old, so I'm doing this from everything I talk about. Basically, I talk about from memory because I remember 98% of everything I see, read, or hear.
Okay.
It's annoying sometimes. But, I quit drinking 33 years ago, too, so there's that. California's energy problems. When Ronald Reagan was the governor of California as a Republican, California has a lot of mountain valleys and stuff with creeks and everything. And he was going to set up a hydroelectric reservoir system so that California's farmland and they could generate unlimited free power from the water. And he had it in place. He had it paid for. I'm telling you, I remember this. And the minute he got out of office, oh, God, we got to save the Delta River smelt. Those poor endangered fish, blah, 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 blah. And the Sierra Club jumped on board and everything else. And it's, and it's like the forest fires, when they made fun of Trump with the, well, they need to rake the forest. Well, anyone out there listening who thinks that Trump's an idiot for saying that, go to a Caterpillar dealership website and see if you can't rent a D8 bulldozer with a rake blade on it or a front end loader with a rake blade on it. And it's called a rake blade. And it looks like a rake, except where it's made for a D8 bulldozer or a 950 loader or a 988 loader. And they use them to rake the dead trees that are easy to ignite around the forest. And that's what they haven't been doing. And anyhow, on the energy grid, that's California. On the other side, they're scared of nuclear energy. Well, do you remember the the young boy that built the nuclear reactor in his garage?
Yeah, I do remember
his parents' garage?
Yeah. You
remember that? Okay, when the authorities came and took it away, you know where they took it?
Where is that?
They took it to the university and let him finish it.
And
it worked. But the kid's a genius, and See, when nuclear energy was invented, you know, the nuclear power plant, the reactors, there's two types of reactors. There's the thorium reactor and there's the thermonuclear reactor. The problem with the thorium reactor is you can't make nuclear bombs out of it. But it's very good for producing electricity. Also, it creates high temperatures that you could take Pennsylvania sweet coal and turn it into crude oil. And we have over a 50,000 year supply of thorium because it's a waste material from all mining.
Right.
It's a closed loop reactor system. It kind of looks like I'm giving you a very basic, simple schematic of it, where it's just a big round squared off circle with a big area for the reaction. And at the bottom, it has a drain, and that drain goes into 3 large tanks. And they use a fan to keep that part of the molten salts cool enough that it's solid and provides a plug. If any problem with the reactor happens, the fan stops working, the molten salts in that plug melts, and the nuclear material loses its ability to fission and pours out into 3 tanks, and it's null and void. And you don't have the nuclear radiation because of the half-life, and I don't want to get into explaining that. But we have the ability. Everything they're doing is to destroy America and to destroy the world, the Great Reset. I wish I was making this up. I'm just not. Bill Gates said in the 2010 TED Talk, we are going to use abortions and vaccines to reduce the Earth's population. Why would I ever want to take a vaccine again?
Exactly.
He said that, not me. And if anybody out there wants, if you can find ABL, I'm sure you could open up Google and said 2010 TED Talk, Bill Gates, vaccines and abortions to reduce population. And then read. That's all you got to do. It's that simple to find this information out. Brother, love what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And God bless you and God bless America. Y'all have a great night.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, ABL. Bye-bye.
Sorry for the loud noise. I almost forgot about that. I got to turn off the ringer. Now give me a second to do that right quick. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and do that for me as well. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, there we go. There we go. Let's go. 304 on line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, ABL. This is Derek, your favorite Georgian / West Virginian.
All righty, man. What's going on?
We walk back in here to the bedroom. I got my niece down here, and she's pretty loud, if you can imagine. She's 2. But anyways, I missed a bit about the lady, that's like mouthing the words that her child is saying. Like, it's obviously been rehearsed. I had to go down the road for a few minutes. That was the main part I was wanting to see. But have you heard about the MAP flag that the Pride folks have, LGBTQ and all that? It's called the MAP flag. Have you heard about it?
I've heard about the maps, but I've not heard about their flag.
Yeah, they have a flag. It's striped, and the top and bottom are pink, and then inside of that, top and bottom is blue. And inside of that is white. But anyways, MAP stands for minor attracting people or minor attractive people, one or the other. Basically, it is a flag that says you stand for it's okay to be attracted to minors, children, what have you. And I seen that the other day, along with all these other videos where, we just need to let our kids be what they're going to be, but yet you're not. You're telling them what to be, and you're tricking them, and you're coercing them, and you're doing everything you can to make them be what you want them to be because you're that way. And it makes me really, really angry and almost sick how, I mean, this is child abuse, in my opinion, at the very least.
Well, absolutely.
And I'm hoping whenever somebody gets in enough power, whether it be Trump or somebody else, this has to stop. It just has to.
Yeah.
If everybody's gay, how's everything? We're already, I mean, it's a misconception that we're overpopulated. There's actually, where the lifespan has gotten longer, there's actually less babies being born than people are dying. So our population is actually dropping, and that can be a big problem over some time. But I was just wondering if you had heard of this MAP flag and this whole idea of it's okay to be attracted to children and whatnot.
I've not seen that flag, but I've heard of that particular thing. And really, that's where all this stuff is going, like all this transgender stuff. Like, I heard about Dwayne Wade, the basketball player, filing to change his son's name to a girl name and trying to change his gender into a girl's gender. But the boy's 15 years old, and it all started when he was 12 years old. And I saw that Children's Hospital, I forget where it was in the country.
Yeah,
but
Boston Children's Hospital, Boston.
Yeah, so they're talking about you can start your transition at 3 years old, stuff like that. See, what's going on is they're just trying to set these kids up to be attractive to these people that find minors attractive, to these people that need to be in jail or killed or whatever you want to do. That's kind of where we're going. That's the next step, to make that stuff be okay, which is not going to be okay ever. But they want it to be like that. That's the agenda.
Yeah, I mean, and I hate to like beat the dead horse, but this has got to stop. It's so, I don't care what religion you are or what. It's just so wrong because, I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a garbage man. I wanted to be the dude riding off the back of the truck, right? That was cool to me, like, whatever, but I didn't, girls had cooties all the way up until I realized that was just, whatever, and then I was, got me a little girlfriend in, like, 3rd grade or something, I don't know, but it was just go to the little dance or whatever, and these kids don't know what's going to happen as they go through puberty and just get older. Like, well, I thought I was this, and I was kind of influenced to be that, but I'm just not that. I actually like the opposite sex, or I actually like the opposite of what I've been told to like my whole life. And then you get all depressed, and you know what happens whenever that happens. Exactly. And it's just, it pisses me off, and it sickens me almost, just how this is just out there, and and nobody says anything. Seems to me like, I mean, there's a few people that try to get it out there, but just apparently don't have loud enough voices, and I don't see how the minorities of those people have such a louder voice than folks like you and some other channels that I follow, and even some more other politicians. It's just, how can they be so loud and nothing be done? And if something does start to get done, it gets halted. Like, no, you can't say nothing about these people. And it's just, how's it going to stop and when and where and just, it's got to, though.
Right, I hear you, man.
It's got to somehow. But that's all. I kind of went on a little rant there, longer than I wanted to be on here, because I know you got plenty of other callers. But I'm going to get off of here, so stay safe and love the channel, bro. You already know that. Did you ever get in touch with your uncle or whoever it was about people living up Whitman Creek?
Nah, I forgot about that. Huh? Nah, we don't. I know. I have to talk to him, but I've not yet.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, all right, man. Y'all have a good night.
All right now.
All right, later.
All right, let's go to 440. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey there, ABL. Nick from Ohio.
All righty. What's going on?
I just want to talk about the electric cars, their electric motors, and the lithium-ion batteries that they are using.
Yes.
Well, I'm an airsofter here in Ohio with Great Lakes Milsim, and we use LiPo batteries in our airsoft 6mm guns. And we're safe. We use eye protection, lower face protection. We use all that, and we drink lots of water. But that doesn't stop your gun from overheating when you're out in the sun. And when oxygen touches these lithium-ion batteries and the internals of them, they go up in a blue puff of fire that is so dangerous it will burn underwater.
Wow.
And you drop your gun because you don't want to be holding it. It's not a fun event when that happens, but luckily you can save some of your utilities. Now, with the electric motors, in the car, the electric motor also has a chance to overheat. What happens with these motors and why these, those little boards, the little hoverboards?
Yeah.
Those overheat because the motors aren't used to hitting like slow speeds and they have high torque. So when you have a very high torque motor, you're going to have an event in the winter where if it's more powerful than the gas operated motor, which has a slow buildup of torque using a torque converter, well, the electric motor doesn't have that. It's not converting torque from a transmission. It has no stall period, has no fluids. That muscle is regulation. Without that regulation, you're going to have a high heat transfer. And unless you got something cooling it, and I mean, you're going to have like the same stuff cooling your computer, like that grease, that silicone grease, you're going to have that in there. And what happens when it gets on the road? Is this good for the environment? I don't like any of it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking that we're just moving way too fast. The technology is just not here for what we're trying to accomplish.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. Yeah, it's not safe at all. That's what I was thinking.
Are we going to consume that? Is it going to get in our food, our water, our animals' water?
I suppose so. I mean, if you're on a road and you have runoff and it goes into the water, I mean, a lot of these roads right next to the reservoir, I don't see how it wouldn't get into your water at a certain point.
Disappointing. Thank you, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
That's an excellent call because we got to understand the science behind it, right? We talk about what they talk about, believe the science, trust the science. Okay, let's talk about science then. Let's talk about the reality of the situation. We're not prepared. The technology is not there to accomplish this goal that we're trying to accomplish with electric cars. It just ain't there yet. It's dangerous, very, very dangerous still. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, ABL? It's JD Scotch from Oklahoma. How you doing, buddy?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, not a lot. I missed the first part of your show as I got home, but there's a story I wanted to bring up. I don't think you covered it, and I don't think it's really getting a lot of coverage. You know that actress, that Anne Heche, whatever her name is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like one of Ellen DeGeneres' like first girlfriends, like public girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I guess some random person like drove into her house and there was a big fire and then she died, you know.
No. She drove into the random house.
Oh, she drove in the house.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the crazy part about it. Have you seen the video? It's all over YouTube still, where the paramedics, like the fire department, they're basically carrying her out in like almost like a body bag. And right before they put her in the ambulance, she like busts out of it and is like trying to fight and get away from them. And then later on, she ends up dying.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that? Okay. I thought that was pretty weird, honestly. I think there's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of funny business going on there.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't know how they said it was like she had a brain injury and she died as a result of the brain injury. I don't know how she went from what she was doing on the ambulance, like what she was doing on the stretcher, how she went from that to now I'm brain dead. I don't know how that happens. I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it does most certainly seem pretty fishy at best.
Yeah, I thought so too, exactly. And I thought that was kind of some foul play involved there, possibly. As you know, I mean, she was connected with Ellen, and you know, Ellen's got some crazy powers. You know, she's like the white Oprah. You know, I mean, so who knows what could have happened? But what else was I gonna say? I know that one dude that calls in, that Asian dude, always asking that you and Salty Cracker ought to like do a show together. You know, I know Salty is he's got his own style, that's for sure. You know, I think you and Mark Dice would make a great collaboration sometime.
Okay,
you're both. Yeah, I think you and Mark Dice. You ever look into that? I mean, you guys would make a great podcast together. You know, every now and then.
Right on, man. Sounds good.
Other than that, that's all I got to say. Yeah, just keep it up, man. Love you, dude. And love the show and everyone else listening, too. So, all right. Have a good night, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Good call. Calling on loudspeaker to 857.
Hey, ABL, man. What's going on?
What's happening?
Man, what happened? What's going on with Trump, man? Why didn't he return those documents, man? Those classified files, man. Do you think he should have returned it, right?
Well, they got them now, don't they?
Yeah, they got him, but he returned it. He returned it 14 when they sent the subpoena, and then why did he return all of them together to avoid the search of his house?
So you said they subpoenaed the documents before?
Yeah, they're sending us. Oh, yeah, they've been negotiating with him for the last 16, 18 months.
Have you seen the subpoena?
Yeah, the subpoena's been disclosed. Yeah.
Okay.
It's been disclosed.
So
they sent the subpoena. The State Department negotiated with his lawyers. He said he was gonna give it to them. He said it was gonna. They told him okay. For now, put it in a secure place. It didn't. He was transporting these documents back and forth to different places, according to the New York Times. I can't confirm that, but that's what they're saying. And then when they sent the subpoena, it turned out 14 boxes with classified information. And the most important classification, he kept them. There were another 32 boxes. So my question is why the former president will do something like that to jeopardize the security of our great nation? Do you have an answer for that?
Okay, so now the subpoena, did the subpoena, like what did the subpoena request?
Well, the subpoena request for him to appear in court so they could get into his house to get the documents. So they wanted to do it in a more civil way. They didn't want to go to the search. They didn't want to go to any of that. Say, hey, we work with you. Tell us where these things are. We recover it, and it's over.
No. Okay, no. The question, my question was, what did it request as far as the documents? Like, what documents did they want? Was it specific things that were requested? Well, they wanted the classified information, the boxes. So all the classified information that was there. That's what the DOJ now Trump
and the State
Department. Now Trump said that what they wound up getting was declassified already.
No, there's no way on hell that you could declassify all that information. Number one. Number two.
Wait, sir, wait a minute. But it's not even. That's like you're saying that it's impossible. But what I'm telling you is that Trump said that they were declassified already. You said that they asked for classified documents, but he said that what was taken during the raid was declassified already, and he said that they were in a secure place because they had been talking to the FBI. They were in a secure place with a lock that they requested. So I don't understand, like, if they had a subpoena and they took certain things that were classified and then the other things were unclassified and they were in a secure place, I don't understand the problem.
Oh, let me educate you. First of all, Nothing was this. Do you know how? Do you know what is the
So
requirement?
when Trump says that they were declassified, how do
But
you
that's
know?
what
So,
Trump
sir,
said.
excuse me,
Trump said many
sir. Let me finish the question. So when Trump says that they were declassified, how do you know he's not telling the truth?
Well, if they were declassified, these materials you could find it online. If they declassified, you could find these documents online.
Okay.
If every document is declassified for the CIA, you could go to the CIA website, you could read it. It's just not true. First of all,
So, but how do you know? Like, how do you know that he's not telling the truth? Because really, at this point, it's between. Sir, excuse me. Sir, excuse me. At this point, it's between his word and your word.
No,
right?
It's not true.
It's between his word and your word. So how do you know you're right?
It's not true. It's just not true. But let me explain to you. In order to declassify documents.
I already know all that. I don't need to know all that. But the point is,
you know how that.
But sir, excuse me, sir. The point is that Trump said that they were declassified. So you're saying that they weren't. It's just really his word versus your word, and that's pretty much it. You don't know if he's telling the truth or not. You have no way of knowing that. You think that you know, but you don't. You just assuming that he's not telling the truth. But at the end of the day, he would know more than you on that. So we can move forward from that. If you got anything else to say.
But you're not allow me to talk. Or
but look, I could talk on my show. I could do what I want on my show. If you like it, you could go somewhere else.
It's your show.
It is my show. You should know that by now, sir. You should know that by now. So we could talk about something else if you would like.
Okay, so let me help you out. In order to declassify,
sir, excuse me. Did you hear what I said?
What?
We can move on to something else if you want to, a different topic.
No,
we've already.
Explain to you
No. Okay, I'm gonna tell you one last time. If you don't want to do it, I'll move on to the next caller. We can move on to a different topic. We've already talked about the whole, sir. We talked about the whole declassified thing. At the end of the day, he said they were declassified. You're saying that they weren't. That's really it. It's you versus him. That's it. So there's nothing more to say. You could say how the whole process happens and how it doesn't happen. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's you versus him, and that's it. So that's a dead horse you're beating. So do you want to move forward or not? If you don't, I bid you good night.
Hello?
Okay, so what you want to do?
Okay, I just told you. Okay, I'm gonna move on. So let's talk about you said the Green New Deal. So do you think this is new? The Green New Deal is new. The United States was focusing in the electric cars, solar panels. Do you think this is new, or this is something that was being on mind of the United States before?
What do you mean new? It's relatively new. It's not new as in this year.
It's not relatively new. Well, it's new now because we didn't put our efforts and our resources on it. We've been thinking about electric cars since 1979 when the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Syria put us against an oil embargo. Do you remember the oil embargo in 1979? You know how bad it was?
Okay, so what's your point? Let's get to it quick because we don't got all night.
My point is we have the technology, we got the engineers, we got the intelligence. Let's invest our money, let's invest the time, and let's get these resources that we need. So in the long term, we don't have to keep relying in the oil industry on the foreign oil. That's what we got to do now.
How are you going to power the electric grid?
I'm not an engineer, so
No. It's not that difficult. How do you power the electric grid? No, sir. Excuse me, sir. Up. How do you power the electric grid? It's simple. You know how to power a car that's electric with electricity, but where does it come from? Where does excuse me, sir? Where does electricity come from?
Well, again, we could improve. We have improved over the years with new technology.
So where does electricity come from?
But we have made a lot.
Sir, let's answer the question, please. Let's answer the question. Where does electricity come from?
I'm not going to answer you that question when it comes to.
All right. Have a good night, sir. At the end of the day, you want to power the electric grid. Where's it going to come from? Windmills, hydroelectric, nuclear, maybe. usually it's going to be that dirty fossil fuel. You know, Germany, they tried to do the whole green energy grid thing. They tried that for a while. That didn't work. So what are they doing right now? Burning coal, natural gas, fracking. That's where it's going to come from. So it's kind of dumb. It's silly because you got to power the grid. If you have more electricity and these big appliances called cars on the grid, that's going to strain it. Now you got to be able to build more capacity in the grid, and you're going to burn fossil fuels doing it. That's it. It's so silly. It's so dumb. But I think it's a matter of political power and control. That's all. 678, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. What's up? It's Tiffany. How you doing?
Well, about yourself.
I'm blessed. Okay. I don't have COVID anymore. Thank God. Over that. Couple of things that I wanted to talk about. You were so right about that double standard you were talking about early in the show with the politician party girl. I forget her name. The prime minister, excuse me. Because this whole feminist movement crap, women, they want, how did somebody say it? They want the benefits, but they don't want the responsibility. You were saying that they want the benefits, but they don't want the responsibility, like men going to war and stuff like that. And I totally agree with that. But the sad part is that double standard, because women will go to male reviews and watch men, look at men, lust after men. They'll do posts about men and their body parts, but they don't want to be sexualized, but they'll sexualize men. And then they'll promote the rape of men. Did you see Coming to America too? That trash?
I didn't.
You didn't miss anything. They should have never made it. They should have left it alone. But there's a scene where that comedian Leslie, I think it's Leslie something, I forget her name. But yeah, and it's a scene with her and Eddie Murphy. It's a flashback scene, and she basically rapes him. She drugs him and she rapes him.
Wow.
So they're promoting that. And then, you got Cardi B bragging about raping men. So it's a lot of stuff I want to say, so I'm going to go fast so you can get the other callers. But what they want to do is they want to make, of course, women, and you know this, they want to make women masculine and men feminine. And I think they want to do that, and I'm going to keep it clean, but I have to say this. If you remember in the 90s and now even, they promote they promote sodomy, but they promote having relations between men and women in that manner, sodomy manner. I'm going to give you two movies. Jason's Lyric, not Jada and Alan Payne, but Tretch and that other girl with the ponytail. I forget her name. She was in Love Jones. You know who I'm talking about?
Regina something.
Hall. I forget her name, but there's a scene when they go in the alley, Tretch and the girl, and her, and they do their thing. Best Man, both Best Man movies. Tay Diggs and Sanaa Lathan and Monica Calhoun in the first Best Man, every scene was her having relations in that manner. What they want to do is promote that, and I'm going to move on. There's a pastor, he passed away, his name is Stephen Darby. I don't agree with all his doctrine, but he was talking about how the makeup industry, that's why they have all these women wearing these lashes looking like Snuffleupagus and all this makeup and contour. And then you notice these young gay boys, they get into the contour and they can do their makeup better than women. They sure enough to do their makeup better than me because I don't do all that contouring all the time. And I'm definitely going to be walking around with, but they have women wearing lashes looking like drag queens. And they do that because when these trans women, which are men, wear their makeup, they can look better than some real females. So they promote relations in sodomy. That's why you have these transgender women fooling these men because they're having relations in that manner, and then they're getting killed when the man find out this is a dude I'm sleeping with. And that is why Hollywood promotes that. I'm going somewhere. I'm not just saying this just to say it. They promote it in the fashion industry with the skinny jeans, with for men. True Religion, all them brands, men walking around wearing the boxer shorts, the tight ones with their behind hanging out. Why would any straight man want to walk around with it? But monkey see, monkey do. If you've been to prison, you know that's the invitation for a man. If you look in the fashion industry, because I'm a fashion girl, I love fashion. Valentino, if you watch their shows, Gucci, if you watch their shows, they love putting men in dresses and having them run around with heels on and skirts and looking gay. But black people love them from Gucci. Jennifer Lopez, her daughter, well, let me talk about her career, because I used to watch Jennifer Lopez movies back in the day until I realized what she was about. Now I don't fool with her. She made a movie, I forget the name of it. It was some movie where she was a babysitter or something, and she was sleeping with a younger man, and then he wanted to keep the relationship going, and she wanted to stop it. Then he started stalking her and stuff like that. That's promoting pedophilia. Somebody else did a movie where they was with a younger man too. I forget her name. It's an older actress. Jennifer Lopez did a movie about her getting pregnant by getting artificially inseminated or whatever, and she got pregnant alone. She was single. Then a man comes along and they start dating, and she tells him she's pregnant, and then he wants to be with her and stuff like that. This is that feminist bull crap. But you can kill his baby. But if you want to go have one on your own because you're so empowered and stuff, you expect some man to come along and take care of you and your baby, a baby that's not even his. You want to promote that foolishness on the big screen, but y'all want to run around and have sex with whoever you want to. Then when you decide you don't want the baby, you can kill it. Double standard.
That's right.
Her daughter is now trans. Somebody who, I forget if it was Conservative Black Perspective, I forget who did the video, but he did the video and he showed Jennifer Lopez on stage using they, them pronouns. She brought her daughter out there looking like a little soft stud. It was disgusting. Now you got Serena Williams, and I'm going to end on this one. She did the Vogue story. I read it today. If you look at the Vogue cover, and then look at the trans flag. She's in a blue, I think it's a Balenciaga dress. She's in this blue dress, and her daughter, Olympia, she is the cutest little thing. It's a dress, and it's got a long train. And at the end of the train, Olympia is standing there, and she's got the train covering her mouth and covering her body. And it's not and she's got a little puff on. You don't know what she has on because the train is covering her whole body. And then she's holding part of the train over her mouth. And I used to do fashion styling. They do everything you do in a photo shoot is strategic. If you zoom in that picture, you will see that little girl is not enjoying herself at that shoot. What they should have did is they should have had her lifting the train over her head with both hands and laughing and smiling like she playing in the, like she, look at that mess. If you zoom in, she is not having a good time. She looking like, what the world? Somebody is coaching her and telling her, look at the colors in the sky. It's pink. That's the trans flag.
I see it.
And look how they got that baby covering. Look how they covering her. She should have on a cute little dress, and she ought to be holding that train above her head, waving it, dancing like I'm having a good time with my mommy. But look how they got her standing there.
Yep.
They don't want you to see what she is. Because they put them little boys in here. They do little boys' hair like that now. And they think it's cute.
Wow, that's deep.
So
I see it, yeah.
It's a demonic. And then in the interview, she talked about if I was a man, I'd be able to go out and do tennis, and I'm sad about leaving tennis, but Olympia wants a sister. Your husband, you and your husband had consensual relations to conceive Olympia. And if you decide to have another child, you're going to have consensual relations to conceive your second child. And I think Serena loves her baby, and I think she's a good mother, but I'm concerned because she did reference some famous tennis star. I don't know nothing about tennis, but I did a little research on this Betty Jean lady, and she's gay, and she was originally married to a man, and then it says, and this is Wikipedia, so I don't know how accurate this is, but it said in 60-something, she discovered she was attracted to women. So so Serena referenced her and praised her in her little Vogue interview. So I'm like, Serena, please do not get involved. Don't do that to Olympia. Don't do it, because Dwayne Wade didn't already change legally Zaya's name to make him legally a girl on paper. So right. This is important because people will say, "Oh, it's not my child." Oh, this is they trying to make the pop culture. What's going to happen is the weak-minded people are going to follow with this. And the weak-minded people will do it willfully, but what they're banking on is the people who are apathetic and say, oh, you know, do whatever you want to do. And that if they can make you apathetic, that's good because you don't care, so they can just move forward with their agenda. But this affects us.
That's right.
It's just disgusting. So that's all. I just wanted to bring that up tonight.
Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you as always.
Okay, have a good night. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, that's deep though. That picture, like making the trans flag with the colors and all that. That's you know, they do stuff like that to kind of like put it in your subconscious. So when you see it, like when you see the actual trans flag, it's like familiar. You've seen it before because they've already kind of put it into your brain. That's pretty deep. So yeah, it's the evil world we live in. It's the evil world we live in. 254 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, good evening, ABL. It's been a while. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
How y'all doing tonight? Shout out to the base female caller you just had earlier. So she dropping facts.
Absolutely.
Try to get some of the topics here at hand real quick. So I was, me and my buddies on the military side were joking about the electric car situation. So we're sitting over there seeing the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers getting discontinued for the more electrical favoritism of it. Meanwhile, U.S. military recruitment's at an all-time low. So probably that's another reason why they're going to discontinue that. Who else is going to buy a Charger for 40% interest right there?
Good one.
But also, too, speaking of facts about that, too, you had a caller calling earlier tonight. Let's look at what happened even out here at California at one point. There's a kid who was out here who actually developed a car to run on water, and it got up to about 60 miles per hour. For city life, that's not too bad, to be able to run a car on water. We're going to end up buying that patent for it, though. Ford. They took that patent, hit it in its face, and it couldn't prevent the ability for that technology to come out here to the world. So if you guys are going to sit over here and talk in the automotive industry, these big companies talking about going green, why do we stop the production of that? Well, we already know that's related to money and taxes, so different story for another time, right? Situation with the video, you talking about the trans mom or the trans kid and getting coached by the mom and everything too. A trans child nowadays is the same thing as a vegan cat. We all know who's pulling the strings behind that one right there, right? Stop sexualizing children. Stop focusing on that. And the same thing the caller called in earlier tonight too. You know, I was a kid. I didn't care about that. I'm too busy out there trying to collect Pokemon and, you know, do I want to be the Green Ranger and the Red Ranger when me and my homeboys are out there playing and stuff? Let children have their childhood. Let children do their thing, all right? When you become like a certain age in your childhood, we all go through that too, you know, we all develop and stuff like that. That's when you start becoming your own character and stuff. Obviously, you know, we say it, you're 18 now, you can make your own decision because technically by the United States, you're legally adult right there. But, you know, as we grow through the high school years, middle school years even too, you figure out who you want to be on that too. But there is no 4-year-old walking around sitting there saying, I'm gay, I'm straight. No, it's not. It's the parents that's pulling the strings behind that one right there. So, finish up on the last two real quick. Same thing too. I want to hit that one up with the whole Trump raid and ball-line scatology for me real quick on that. Classified documents right there, right? If somebody declassifies documentation right there and it gets reclassified by that, as long as that documentation is properly safe and a appropriate DOD safe area, and it's an appropriate DOD safe, what's the problem with the documentation being there, right? But also too, it goes back to the same thing. Media is trying to sit there and paint Trump for it for information got reclassified. Well, it's the same thing happened with Hillary Clinton right there, right? She had confidential information that was allowed to be stored on her server, but once that server and documents on there became TSSCI, then that documentation cannot be allowed on there because it wasn't a proper server on that. But different story for another time. You talked about that quite a bit right there. Last but not least, I'm also waiting for my drone strike because, you know, I know domestic terrorism and white people are the biggest problem over here in the States right now. So I'm still waiting for my drone strike to take place over here because I was wearing a Don't Steppy on Snakey shirt that I had over there with my flag and everything, stuff on top of it. But jokes aside, though, for that right there, I'm tired of like the whole, well, here we are 2 years later, facts with information constantly coming out. You know, we got the CDC dropping its information, constant changes for the same stuff that we've been spewing out there. And it goes into the same thing with that Hunter Biden laptop situation. The guy you were talking about earlier, that was the Sam Harris person. You can't sit there and say that we should give up democracy and the way of living and the rights that we have here as American citizens and what we do in our country just because you don't like the orange man. So those are just my 2 cents right there. I'm going to head out here for a little bit, ABO. You guys have a good night. Good show tonight. Everyone take care. God bless.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Great call. Very well done. You know, a lot of thoughts, just able to get them out pretty quickly, pretty efficiently. Shout out to him. And thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoyed what you were hearing thus far tonight, if you enjoyed the stream, if you enjoyed the content in general on the channel, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. This is also a podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms. Well, I can't say platforms. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. 315 on line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Brett. I heard you say that in your argument for creationism that the Big Bang created cells. As a physics graduate student, I thought that was really not totally correct, because the Big Bang.
Wait, hold on, wait. I didn't say the Big Bang created cells. I said that it didn't make any sense for the Big Bang to have created cells. I said that the random explosion theory didn't make any sense to create life, as far as how everything is in unison and it's so detailed and perfect.
Yeah, I get. You're using an argument for intelligent design, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's reasonable to make an argument if you were to prove that. I think there's actually evidence that the universe is a hologram, and they found some evidence and inconsistencies of the Big Bang radiation and how they're not continuously distributed or something like that, where they found this evidence suggested that the universe may be a hologram, and thus, if the universe is a hologram, maybe there's a creator.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that. I mean, we could be a computer program. We could be the Sims on a grander level. You never know.
Yeah, it's cool to think about, and it's hard to understand what we observe.
You can't really understand it because it's beyond what we can observe at all. It's just, how can you really understand something,
Make theories and try to look at what they predict in order to find things that we can observe to falsify them, or show that, hey, this evidence supports the theory. Let's continue to look for more evidence to try to invalidate it.
Right.
So that's what they did with that's what Isaac Newton created his law of gravity, which works really well for gravity, for predicting the motion of objects and under the influence of gravity. But also it doesn't work for how light is bent around objects of large mass. And Albert Einstein derived the theory of general relativity from insane mathematics called differential geometry, which allowed us to have a more accurate model of how gravity and mass works, where you have 4 dimensions, X, Y, and Z, or 3 dimensions that we can observe, and time, which is relative to your velocity, which the faster you go, the slower time gets, but you have to go at a decent fraction of the speed of light in order to see a noticeable change in the time.
Right.
So I don't think we could prove that or whether or not the universe is a hologram. I don't know how you would definitely prove that or can actually understand.
Yeah, I don't think you could. That's just you can only kind of like theorize and just make assumptions, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about assumptions, but you would use assumptions as a basis for your theory.
Yes.
And try to make predictions from it and to try to invalidate it or support, see if the evidence supports it.
Right on.
So it's nice talking to you.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Yeah, man, that's kind of a deep topic, and it can kind of be offensive to some people because everyone has their particular faith and their belief, and that's one of those things, man. It's just like you talk to people, if you go to Thanksgiving dinner, you don't bring that topic up at the table. It's like, you know what? I think we're a hologram, and I don't really believe. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's not do this right now at the dinner table. That's not appropriate for today. 614 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Chris speaking from Australia.
All righty, what's going on?
Not much. I was just listening, and I had a point to make that I want to get across. And it's about the expression that things are only poisonous or toxic depending on the amount of substance. And I think that goes for all the topics that are being discussed today. So electrical cars, they're really good. I love Elon Musk developing them, but when we have to drive them, then it becomes something toxic. And same goes for vaccination. Great that it's being developed, but if we have to take it, it becomes something toxic. So that was the point I wanted to make.
That's a very good point. That's my thing. It's like, okay, it's not a problem to have options. It's totally fine to have options, but when you don't have an option, that's when there's a problem. I want to be able to choose. Okay, do I want an electric car or gas car, good gas mileage, low gas mileage? Let me have the freedom. Once my freedom gets taken away from me, now I have a problem.
Exactly. And the same goes for gender, race, everything. I mean, we all think nobody should be put down because of color or anything like that. But if it becomes that everybody is racist because of whatever, then it takes a bridge too far. So there's truth in there's truth in everything, but it's just a level that it's taken at. So that was my point. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
That's a very good point you made. Very, very good point. I have no arguments there. Okay. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, it's Sonia. How are you?
Oh, well, about yourself.
Okay. Ivan called earlier. He was talking about the Green New Deal.
Yes.
And his argument for it, he mentioned that the technology is getting better. They've been trying to do this since the 70s. Why can't we put our money towards this? Because eventually it will free us from being dependent on oil from other countries. Is that what he said?
I think that was his main argument.
And all I want to know, let's pretend that we're all on board with the Green New Deal and we want to go this route. What was wrong with being energy independent when Trump was in office until we get there?
See, that's a very good point. It's like, okay, people like him will talk about we need to have electric vehicles to become energy independent, but we already had that before the current guy came in. So what was wrong with that? So that's a very good point.
Yeah. And did you hear Nancy Pelosi saying that Mother Nature gets angry sometimes and that this legislation, I believe the Inflation Reduction Act, was going to address that?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, those were her words. And I want to know what the environment has to do with inflation.
Nothing at all, because the environment does not print money. The environment is just the environment.
And, I was thinking about when Manchin and Sinema, remember when they stood out and they opposed that $1 trillion bill that they wanted to pass, and he said he couldn't do it on good conscience for the people of, wherever he represented. I don't know if they called it a stimulus bill, but it was like $1 trillion thing, you remember? And they got a lot of flack because they were Democrats and they were opposed. Could it be possible that that was all a show because they knew that inflation was going to get so bad? They knew that people were going to be complaining about everything under the sun, and then they could pass this Reduction Act right now. At the end of the day, it's kind of like getting them what they wanted to do with that bill.
That's definitely possible.
I was thinking about that because I think in recent days, it was announced that they sent more money to Ukraine, like very recently, again.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Biden is spending $500,000 to put a fence around his home.
I didn't hear that part. That's interesting. That's funny how that works.
I just want to know where all this money is to go around when we're supposedly going through all this inflation, and the people who voted for them and hated Trump. These people can't possibly be the same ones that said tax the rich, could they?
Oh, of course, but that only applies in certain circumstances, not all the time. They totally ignore it whenever they want to.
And then I heard that they found some shipment of drugs, fentanyl to be exact, fentanyl, whatever, that looked like candy for kids.
Yeah, I saw that, like multicolored candy type looking things.
Yeah, so I was wondering where the kids in cages crowd was at on that, because isn't this a danger to the kids in this country?
Yeah, they don't really care about the kids in this country until they can blame a mass shooting on a white person or maybe a police officer, something like that. But again, they only believe in certain things in certain times, not all the time.
Well, I'll leave you with this. If you haven't seen it or heard it or are in the mood, it's a short little clip. I just came across it today, and I wanted you to do a reaction to it, and I think maybe you can squeeze it in. It's a new commercial that apparently Hulu had aired during a children's program or something that was family-friendly, and it's from Gillette. And, well, I don't know how else to describe it without giving it all away, but if you do a little search for controversial Venus ad for, Gillette, let me know what you think about it. That's all. Maybe tonight or in a future video.
Can you send it to me, to my email address? Because I'm gonna look out for it just to make sure I'm able to get it.
What's the email that everybody sends for that? Can you tell me again?
It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. It's on the website if you can't remember.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right, I'll keep listening. Thanks for taking my call, Abiel. Good night.
Thank you for the call.
All right, bye.
That sounds interesting. I'm gonna check that commercial out and see what's going on with it. I'm gonna have to do a reaction. 817, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Ray Vasquez from Texas. How are you, sir?
Well, about yourself?
I'm doing okay, man. I was wondering if you, what your opinion was about hydrogen cars.
I'm not familiar with them.
Looked into that?
Nah, I'm not familiar. I think I've heard about it, but I don't know anything about them.
It's basically water-powered cars. I was just wondering what your opinion was about it. Supposedly, the government keeps shutting it down. Like, people keep coming up with the technology, and then the government will just shut it down because supposedly it will, like, cripple the economy. You know how the government obviously charges, taxes on gas, and all that would go away, and when there'd be nobody to like fund the streets or bridges or whatever they use that money for.
Oh yeah, there's certain things that are done not for necessarily the environment. They keep talking about the environment is paramount. We got to save the environment, all this and that. But then it's like, okay, we have a water powered car that's going to help the environment. That's also going to impact money and finances. Are going to cause a collapse in the economy, what they say. So they don't want to do that. They got a lot of relationships built on the oil and gas and everything else. So they don't really want to do it. It's so strange. This is why when I hear them talk about the Green New Deal and stuff like that, I cringe and I laugh at the same time because I know that it's not really about that. It's about something else. It's about political control. They want things to go a certain way because if it was about just the environment, then they would allow the water powered car and not just try to do something else.
Yeah, the way I see it is the Democrat Party, as long as they're in charge, as long as they're calling the shots, they don't care about nothing else, man. The world could be burning, there could be chaos, it could be anarchy, And that's partly what's happening in their own cities where the Democrats run cities. They don't care. But as long as they're in power, they're content with that. It just doesn't make any sense because it's not even how can I say beneficial for the people. It's not beneficial for the country for things to be that way. But as long as they're calling the shots, they don't care.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Only other one question I had. I know you say you're not religious. You say you believe in God, but do you just out of curiosity, do you read the Bible?
I've read it before, from cover to cover.
My belief is we're just like not that far away from the rapture. Do you know what the rapture is? Like the end times? I'm pretty sure you heard of it, right?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. I was just wondering what your opinion was on that. I mean, the closer we get to the end, like the worse things are going to get, and I mean, it's all written in the Bible. There's going to be like a mark of the beast, and there's going to be like a world leader is going to try to take over, and all these wars and stuff. I'm just curious if you read the book or if you read the book.
I have a personal opinion about the Bible, not a negative one, but I think a little bit deeper about the Bible specifically and all world religions. But just to make a long story short, I think that a lot of things in the Bible are true because at a certain point, humans have always been humans, and human nature is not difficult to understand once you really look into it and dive into it. So I think a lot of what's in the Bible is true, 100%.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, I just wanted to touch base with you. I haven't talked to you in a while. Just that about the hydrogen cars. I look into it sometimes too, but what I gathered from it is just that the government just keeps shutting it down because there's not a lot of money in it, or there's no money for them. Kind of like the same principle, I mean, obviously you know who Nikola Tesla is, right?
Yeah.
There's a story around. I'll just leave it like this. There's a story that when he died, he had 110. I guess it was like cases of his work, his writings. He invented all kinds of crazy stuff, man. Like you can look into it. Like he had invented like a death ray. He had invented it was like a power source, a box. Like it was just like the size of a book. It could power your whole house. He found a way to, because I don't know what it was about his mind, man. He was just always thinking about how to make the world better, I guess. The Tesla Tower, he was like literally trying to find a way to like draw free electricity out of the current that goes around the earth, and he wanted to give it away for free. Well, the guy he was working for, he didn't agree to it, because when he found out he was trying to give it away for free and just make the world a better place, he completely shut it down.
Yeah.
So like the government's kind of the same way, man. If they're not making any money off of it, there's no control. They're just gonna like shut it down every single time.
Right on.
Yeah. Well, anyways, have a nice night, man.
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
All right. Good call. 773, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
ABL, it's your Chicago police officer friend. How you doing?
I'm well, man. Can't complain.
Good. A hologram has stolen my car. Just to let you know. Hey, this Sam Harris thing. First of all, he, instead of saying any other, thing that he could say, he talks about, corpses of dead children in Biden's basement. But here's the thing. Whether that's hyperbole or not, it goes to prove how far they will go to not have Trump in office. So ballot box stuffing, no problem. Having people vote that don't have a right to vote, no problem. I mean, it just goes to show that, they'll stop at nothing. It's a means to an end, and they don't care what the means is, what means they use to get to their end, which is, keeping Trump from office. This is why the FBI has raided his thing. And if you recall, a couple of weeks ago, I told you that the FBI was going to dot their I's and cross all their T's, that going into Melania's bedroom and going into Trump's safe was not going to be a problem. You know, it's going to be listed on a search warrant, but the problem is going to be probable cause. Why are you doing this search warrant, and what are you looking for? And that they don't even want to answer. Well, we don't want to say right now. Yeah, because you want to see what you can find and then make this whole narrative around something you found. We found, a document from 1973 that Trump made a deal with somebody for one of his buildings. God knows what. They don't know what they're looking for. So that's the whole thing. The bottom line is they don't want Trump in office. They want to try to make him ineligible to run. And that's kind of scary because that's not a democracy. You might as well just, be a third world country where some guy's little gorillas come around and put a gun to your head and stop you from voting or make you vote their way.
That's right.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents there this week, ABL. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right. 773 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL. Listen, ABL, direct question, because I've noticed you haven't talked about the new stuff with the FBI, but have you looked up and read the search warrant for the illegal raid on Trump's home?
No, I've not.
Okay, well, it's out there, and if you take a look at one of the emails I send you, or take a look at Black Conservative Patriots video on the subject, there's some interesting detail there, particularly with item 4, which is pretty vague and specifically says look for anything from 2017 to now, 2021, is what's basically a fishing expedition to find anything that would connect Trump to January 6th or whatever collusion narrative that they want.
Okay.
Well, also Sticks and Hammer has pointed out some interesting points about releasing the affidavit right now. If you heard about the judge releasing it, might be a full errand because they may delete and edit a lot of key detail that firmly proves that the FBI illegally targeted Trump, just like they did the same thing with the Hunter Biden laptop, Hillary Clinton's email, and a whole bunch of other stuff, all to protect the Democrat establishment in D.C.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you do ever read the warrant and find that specific detail and read between the lines what they're saying, you'll find out that this was pretty much on purpose, just like they're weaponizing our IRS against us specifically.
Of course. That's, I mean, I from the very beginning, I knew that's what it was. I knew it wasn't anything really serious, that they had to do this. It was just a political thing. That's all.
Yep. Unfortunately, the media is not reporting on it accurately, and they're pretty much changing the definition of a raid and trying to brush it off as nothing. And plus, the fact checkers on Facebook are doing everything they can to kind of censor the fact that Obama has 33 million classified documents in his possession, but they want to go after this certain stack of documents that Trump had, which is already declassified.
Exactly.
Kind of makes sense out of that.
Makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I really do think us fellow conservatives / patriots need to kind of have our own leadership and own rallies against the FBI and the CIA and all these other outfit organizations that have been doing all this against us.
Well, yeah,
all to kind of make a political witch hunt over January 6th, which we all know is a lie too. Because take a look at this whole pipe bomb story that they keep going with, but they're deliberately editing out a certain part of footage that shows the placement of the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that whole January 6th thing is just, it's a show. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, I do think you know, everybody else should kind of put this a little bit on a hat or a shirt to Liz Cheney and say, "Dear Liz Cheney, Daddy can't save you now. So what are you going to do now?"
That's funny.
Yep. Because let's face it, she's one of these type of spoiled rich girls who needs Daddy to fight her battles for her. So much for the strong, independent woman nonsense.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, wait, ABL. I really think a lot of people. Have you read that Larry Elder video about we've been lied to about the CDC?
I've not seen that. No.
Okay. Well, if you do have some free time, check the video and check the references he's making about this Japanese study on the face diapers and their ineffectiveness, particularly about them growing bacteria, and supposed to be only worn one time. Even surgeons admitted that, but we're forced to wear cloth masks.
Yeah, all that stuff, it was just...
Matter of fact...
Yeah.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I thought you were going to say something. Sorry.
Go ahead. Continue.
Okay. As a matter of fact, like today here in Chicago, because my brother and I are getting blood shots, I keep on seeing all these people outside the University of Chicago on their campus not wearing masks, but in the hospital, which is practically almost empty, they kind of make us wear them, which is understandable. But other places they still have these mask protocols. So I don't get what the CDC's changes in the protocol and policies are, because it's been months since they've actually reported anything seriously.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing from the beginning with that, it was political as well, and then the continuation of it after we've been able to see that it didn't really make a difference. It's so much political stuff going on that doesn't make any sense. So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, all of that, the CDC, the mask, wear the mask, don't wear the mask, take this on, take that. I knew the mask thing was done from the beginning, because you know how I knew the mask thing was done from the beginning. It's partly because of Anthony Fauci himself went on TV and said that the mask might block a droplet or two, but it won't be this perfect protection you think it is. It will not be perfect protection. It can't be, because first of all, your mask is porous. If you can breathe through your mask, it's not helping you. Okay, it's just not. Then they're putting on them big K95 masks looking like them birthday hats. You got one of those triangle cones on your face as a mask. You might as well just go like this. Probably better off putting your hand over your face than wearing a mask. Even if you got schmutz and stuff on your hand, you could just go eat a whole hero sandwich and put your hand over your mouth and cover your mouth that way. That'd be better than putting that funky mask on. Okay, and then they're making these masks and masks. Your mask then been in between some Indian dude's toes on the ground while you're sewing it. You put that right in your face. You ain't brushing it off, and that you got straight toe fungus all on your upper lip and your nose and everything else. Wondering why you breaking out. Wondering why you got monkeypox. Is it because of that or something else? I don't know. I'm going too deep. Y'all please forgive me. But if you're enjoying the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. But yeah, if you're wearing your mask right now, I mean, I guess you can if you want to. That's your prerogative. But at the end of the day, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. It's not helping you. You think that it is, but the reality is that it's not. It's not helping. It might make you feel good. You know what I see normally when I was walking around First of all, I saw an uptick in mask wearing when monkeypox came out. It's like, that's not going to help you at all. First of all, you're wearing it in the wrong location, if you catch my drift, without being too vulgar, because we got little kids watching, so I can't do that. I'm family friendly, right? I'm rated PG, so I can't go down that road, but you understand what I mean. You're wearing the mask in the wrong location, first. Second, it wouldn't even protect you if you did. Like, you're not in the right ballpark. Going to the grocery store or like going to Target, Walmart, Whole Foods with a mask on will not protect you from monkeypox at all. It might block a couple of droplets when you're talking about the virus. You might have a 1% protection from the virus. Maybe, probably not even that much, but that fraction of a percent protection is more than monkeypox. If you're not, okay, I gotta stop right there. Basically, it's not going to help you, and you're wearing it in the wrong location. Put it to you that way. You guys are hilarious with someone. I can't even read all that right there. All right, Streets, what's going on, man?
ABL, what's up, man?
Not too much.
A lot of crazy calls, good calls, some wild calls, some ones that had me scratching my head.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
But it's all gravy, man. You've always kept an open show from day one.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, it's that Trump rated, like rapper was saying, the docs. If you read the docs, it is all a show. Like you said, if they are declassified docs, then it, I guess it would, like you said, it would be his word, and they would have to fight that out in court, right? Supposedly.
Yeah, I would suppose so.
But it's like you said, they're basically gonna run on it. It's a show, it's a smear campaign, essentially.
Definitely.
So, also that Finnish prime minister, that's not your wife, homeboy. That's not your wife. That's somebody else's girl for that moment. And then with Stelter, why did they can him out of curiosity? I'm glad they did, because whenever I see Stelter, I always hear Mark Dice's voice in my head.
Always.
Mark Stelter. Did they say why they canned him or no?
It wasn't a specific reason given. All I know is that they canceled this show. They canceled the show you had called Reliable Sources. So I guess after they canceled the show, they didn't have anywhere else to put him. I don't know exactly. I don't know anything beyond that. Well, all I do know is that the show was canceled.
Good riddance, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Outrageous. Brian Stelter. Either way, I don't know. Maybe he can get into his own YouTube thing and see how far he goes. But I highly doubt he's going to get any viewers.
I seriously doubt it. I think CNN was his best thing he had in his life.
Yeah, exactly. CNN Plus,
There you go.
But, also, little side bit. Liz Cheney. Did you hear about Liz Cheney's husband? I guess being like Hunter Biden's tax attorney or something like that. I know. Everybody says, hey, all these political people are all connected. We know that. You know, Pelosi's nephew or nephew-in-law or whatever, Newsom. About Comey's brother, I think, being a tax attorney for one of the Clintons, and obviously, the two, Chris Cuomo and the Cuomo brothers.
Right.
Everybody's connected. And I get it. It's like, hey, well, we're in that arena. You're gonna kind of rub shoulders and have people that you're friends with. But I think it's just wild to me. Did you hear about that or?
I didn't hear about it, but I'm not surprised because there's also the new White House press secretary, the black woman. She is in a relationship with or married to a woman. She's LGBT, and then the woman is Suzanne Malveaux from CNN. So it's like you got all
really?
These. Yeah.
Oh, see,
yep.
That's wild, bro.
It is. That's how it, that's DC though. That's how it is in DC. They're all connected like that. That's why they all look out for each other, on the left and in the media, because why would you have a negative story about somebody on the left when that's your husband or your cousin or your dad or your mom, or you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, fancy dinner parties. Forget about the whole reason why you're out there.
Exactly.
You're not fighting for the people of your state or none of that.
Nah.
So should be term limits, and they should definitely hold property in the state. You go out to DC for a little bit of time. That's it. No fancy dinner parties like William Cooper said. None of that BS.
Exactly.
But they're all connected. So no surprise there. And the CDC always backtracking, bro. That whole thing. So now they're saying, the mask didn't work. Okay, forget the mask. If you're not, I guess now. So I won't say anything, but as far as the company goes, but my friend who was being forced before to take the vaccine and or wear a mask, now his company is basically saying, okay, forget all that. We were wrong. You can come in, not wear a mask. It's like, really? So all this time you were shunning us and basically, telling us that we were killing you. They were telling people that we were responsible for other people's deaths, and now they're backtracking and saying, no, we were right. It's the complete It's basically what we were telling them from the beginning. No apologies.
Right.
No apologies given to us.
Exactly.
So that's how the left works, bro. Also, I got to give a shout out to the ABL Discord. People got mad at me for not shouting them out, so I got to shout them out. Shout out to the ABL Discord, ABL chat. I love you guys. You make me laugh, and keep the show rolling, bro. OG's been here for a while, so.
Thank you for the call, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. All right, see you, ABL.
All right, shout out to Streets for the call, but that will be a wrap. Shout out to the ABL Discord as well. Shout out to y'all. You guys are great over there. But that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to the mods keeping the chat nice and orderly. We got some of these weird bots that come in and some other kind of stuff. So thank you for keeping the chat nice and controlled. Thank you to everybody that called in. Thank you to everybody that's watching. You super chatting. Whatever you're doing. Thank you. I cannot do it without you. You guys are the best. But that will be a wrap for me. I got super chats right here to read off, and then I'm wrapping on up to put the bowl clean on top. So thank you to Watts for being a 6-month, being a 12-month member, who says, it's funny how the left only takes invisible problems seriously. Climate change, white supremacy, and now COVID, which no medical agency will admit is different from the yearly flu. Exactly. It was the craziest thing. The craziest thing I saw about the whole virus thing. Take these headphones off. The weird thing I saw about the virus is when I think in 2020 or 2021 they were reporting the number of cases, and then they said, "Oh, the flu took a year off." Really, the flu took a year off? How? Talking about some. Well, maybe some of the masking stopped the flu transmission. Well, if the masking stopped the flu transmission, then how did people still get COVID? And it made no sense. It's transmitting the same way. And now they're saying the new variant of the bug is like the common cold. They're openly saying that now, when we said that 2-3 years ago. We said that from the very beginning. Because looking at it, they're talking about coronavirus. That means head cold. Corona, crown, head, cold. That's what that is. We said that from the beginning. Oh, you can't say that, ABL. That's dangerous. People are dying. Okay, you could die from the flu too. People die every year from the flu. And now what we said has been confirmed. For a long time, quick, basic, little small rant, 2-minute rant, baby rant coming. For a long time, I was, I guess you would say, kind of shadow banned on Instagram, but not really shadow banned, meaning you could still see my content pretty well, but you could not mention me. So if you wanted to tag me or something, you couldn't do it. And then they said, oh, Anthony B. Logan has constantly posted misinformation about COVID-19. But now all of a sudden you can tag me again. I wonder why. Is it because I was right, Instagram? Is it because I was right? I think I'm right. And you know what? I want Mark Zuckerberg to call me on the phone and give me an apology. Be like, hey man, we're sorry that we did that to you. Not just you, but everyone else. We're sorry that we banned people, altered their lives, messed up their money and everything. We're sorry we did that. That'd be a first step. But when you're talking about the federal government, oh, I need more than an apology. Oh, I need more. I need reparations for that. Because we could prove that it's happening right now. We don't got to go back to slavery time. Let's go back to 2020, 2021, when you told us we couldn't work, when you told us we couldn't go get food, when you said we got to stay in the house, when we got to put on the mask, and we got to get the vaccine or lose our job. I want to get repaired for that, not for some pie in the sky wish from 200 years ago. How about what happened 6 months ago, 1 month ago, today, right now, as we're sitting here talking? Rant over. But that's on my mind a lot. That's on my mind every single day. How we said from the very beginning what's going on, and we call all kind of crap pots and, oh, you guys are conspiracy theorists. You guys don't believe in science. Whenever I hear anyone say believe the science, the cringe is, I cringe out of my skin. I cringe out of the universe. It's crazy. Yes, I am, Sushi. I am vindicated 100%. Totally vindicated. But, you know, one thing about me, I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to stay true to what I know to be correct. 100%. I'm over my time a little bit, but since I was late, I'll give you five extra minutes or so. Okay. But let me go back to the super chats here. I got to stay focused because I'm getting triggered. Thank you to Michael Guess, who says all the Democrats have to do is get that old fool Biden unsigned those 17 executive orders he signed, and the economy and the security will return to the country. Let's go, Brandon. Thank you for that. Thank you to Coach who says it takes the FBI 2 days to investigate Bubba Wallace's garage case and close it. It takes 18 months to retrieve top secret documents. Exactly. Way to hustle, FBI. Liz Cheney and Brian Stelter, you're fired. Yeah, getting up out of here, Liz and Brian. Thank you to Corn Pop, who says, I'm Pop with the eyes. Okay, shout out to Pop. And also, Corn Pop tried calling. Hey, I don't know what happened, man. You got to keep on. Thank you to Georgia Peach, who says, ABL in the chat, over COVID, but my battle with the Big C is next. Thank you, ABL in chat, for being my friend in prayers. Look forward to meet and greet. You rock. Thank you for that. Thank you to Mike H, who says, hail ABL. Thank you. Corn Pop says you're banned and I don't show up on the screen. Well, why am I seeing you? I don't know what's going on. Thank you to S4 for your donation. It says peace, love. I guess it says good night. The little moon emoji. And thank you to Bob K MIT, who says, come home, young man. I will keep pushing for that. I like where I'm at. I like having the proximity to ATL, big city. I'm a city boy. You know, born country boy, born in a small town, but I'm a city boy now. All right. That'll be a wrap for me. Thank y'all for being here yet again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internets. And until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.